All right, I'm not even gonna waste time with a whole little countdown. We're already behind schedule. It has been an interesting day. Welcome, folks. We are Grown A Geeks. This is Weigh In Wednesday.
Oh, you got the Superman tumbler? Oh, son of a bitch.
I made a Superman tumbler. This is a card decal sticker that I put on a basic tumbler.
I mean, I got my Superman beer mug and I got a Superman cup.
I actually have a Superman tumbler.
Dude, I'm sorry, but yours, I mean, I got like 7 pieces of Superman memorabilia. Like your room full of stuff made me look around and be like, yeah, I'm not a Superman fan. Like,
Nah, I don't feel like that.
I
That's
got
okay.
I got a Pez dispenser though that someone gave me that I refuse to open, even though that Pez candy is tantalizing. So
Pez candy is,
I've never tasted Pez.
good for you. Like, it is definitely an acquired taste. It's not even like purse candy.
Jeffrey, you ever had the Nico wafers or like Smarties that have sat in the sun for too long?
Yeah.
Ooh, there you
Okay, you've had Pez candy.
Hmm.
Yeah. Smarties that have been out too long is very accurate.
Yeah. It never looked tantalizing. And I just remember reading like an article in like Disney Adventure magazine when I was a kid that was about how like Pez dispensers are these like crazy collector's items because they stopped making them for a long time. So then when they started making them again, anytime I got one as like a gift or something, I never like took it even out of the package. Like I think I have like a R2D2 one back here somewhere.
Oh wow.
Oh no, wait, here it is. Yep, R2D2.
Wow.
You do the same thing I do. The camera reverses. I'm like,
Right. It's like,
Yeah.
is it here? Is it there? Where am I at?
And it doesn't have to be that way. See, that's that AI, the technology, like trying to make us look stupid little by little until they decide to fully
I don't
take
need
over.
AI to help me look stupid. I can do it all on my own.
Right.
I know, but like they do stuff like that where you just like, why is it backwards?
Exactly. Like it's just like there needs to be something, an option. I want to invert my controls like a video game.
Right?
Right.
Like when I'm piloting a plane, just be able to flip it. So
right. Oh
Invert
man.
controls. That brings back memories. I haven't played video games in so long.
I'm so sorry. I literally
my schedule has not allowed me to get past any of the stuff that I need to be getting past to play the new stuff. It's a shame.
I don't care about new stuff, but as far as games I'm playing, I will literally play at least 15 minutes a day. Even if it's just to boot up, get to the next objective, talk to people, and then save and quit, I will at least do something.
If I was fortunate enough that I was playing games that allow me to get to the next object, like my mobile games are about the only thing I can do the daily objectives on. Because for a long time, like Destiny was my jam, and I was heavy into Destiny, and so it was like I would go in whatever daily raids or
they make these games too hard, man.
It's not that they're hard;
That's
they're
how
just
I
very
feel about
time
it.
consuming. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
that's part of it.
Really
That's part of it. Like something that's time consuming is hard in nature because you just have to find the time to do it. I feel like the internet like nerd culture. Maybe I just got swept up in like a different wave, but it was just like that culture kind of just like skews more towards games like that. So all I've been hearing about, like I don't really hear nothing about like sports games or nothing like that anymore, really. Because I mean, Madden is Madden is Madden is Madden. Like
Madden
been
Madden since been Madden. So I mean,
yeah, they can try to change it, but it's still
year.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're still playing Grand Theft Auto 5 from like 2003, so So
right.
But technically, Grand Theft Auto 5 now it should really be just labeled Grand Theft Auto Online.
But I just don't know why they like. I wish they still made like games like. I mean, I think they're working on a new Skate game, like Skate 3.
Ooh.
But like, when more stuff like that came out, I was like, that's kind of my jam. Like stuff where, like, yeah, you can boot it up, play it for like 15, 20, 30 minutes, just like skate around, try to do some tricks, knock some stuff off of your like trick list or whatever. And then, take your kid to school or go to bed and not feel like, okay, I have to have like 2 hours set aside because I'm playing this super epic quest game and it's going to take me 15 minutes just to walk to the next village so I can get my weapons and do this and do that. So I tried like Assassin's Creed after seeing like the commercials, and I was just like, I like walked from one village to another, and I was like, oh, and then it was like blend in with the monks, so you can walk past the guard and blah blah blah, and then they're like jump on the rooftops. I'm just like doing all this. I'm like, man, this game don't look like the commercial. It don't feel like the commercial that
Yeah,
I
that's
saw.
not until you get like much further.
Yeah, so
I get the
I
free
don't.
roam to go and do and that sort of thing. But outside of that, yeah, it's
Yeah, I think like with video games, it's like too much freedom for me is like not in my wheelhouse unless I'm just doing something stupid like skating. But if I'm just like walking around like this village, I need like Super Nintendo Aladdin where I'm just like I'm running, I'm going from one side to the other. I'm trying not to get caught by the palace guard, and I'm trying to collect as many apples as possible, and that's it.
I was excited when PlayStation Plus put Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remake on there. I'm not going to lie. Haven't booted it up yet, but I downloaded it, and I do plan to play some Tony Hawk here soon.
Yeah, I heard it's good. I need to get, but that's kind of why I'm thinking about getting a play. I was thinking about getting a PlayStation, but then I didn't know. Did they put Skate on PlayStation? Because I had an Xbox when the first two came out.
yeah,
I'm not sure because
Skate's
they got the premium and the premium plus tiers now, and I
Mhm.
still just do the basic because I literally have like 700 games in my game catalog to like still get through.
Yeah, no,
So
I mean, I would buy the game. I just didn't know if it was. I feel like I don't know why I thought it was like an Xbox exclusive
Yeah,
It-
no, they've,
I don't
they've
think
got
first
Skate
came
on.
out.
They've got it on PS4.
Okay,
I don't,
I think
it-
maybe I'm gonna just get a PS4 too. I've been holding out trying to wait till they get these PS5 things situated, but it's like whatever. If I just
I'm
want to
at
play Skate and Tony Hawk, like, do I need a PS5? Not really.
and see that's where I'm at. Like most of the games I want to play or replay are remakes or that kind of thing. Like until they Cyberpunk is the only PS5 game that I really can think of that I want a PS5 for.
See, even with Cyberpunk, now I did get my I have the Xbox Series S, and with that, I did actually get Cyberpunk on the newest system, the newest version, so that I could play that version. And I was fortunate that I didn't really have any major issues, or I think people who had the series, the Xbox One X did okay, and if you had like a PS4 Pro, those people kind of did okay.
I'm not gonna lie, my old PS4. Anytime I try to play something new, it sounds like a plane taking off.
I mean, that's kind of been a complaint of the PS4 in general, like especially as they start to get a little older.
That's what volume control is for, sir. Like
Exactly.
my TV goes up to 100. I will put it on 80, not a problem.
You know what I'm saying? Just
So
put the
to cover
headphones
that
on,
fan
it's not a
noise,
problem.
yeah. So, just FYI though, Skate is not on PS4. There is Skater XL. There's Tony Hawk, and there's Skate City, but Skate is not on PS4.
Or it's just not on the Gamer Pass. But I can buy
no,
the.
no, I can't buy it. Period.
Oh, you can't.
So okay, so we have a DJ Fastnax, who confirmed that he had Skate on Xbox. I mean, on a PS4. I won't call him out, but maybe he can clarify which version he had, or maybe I misunderstood which game. He might have been talking about Tony Hawk. But
I remember enough to know
Skate.
that Skate and Tony Hawk were two different games.
Oh yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely.
So
but
It's like
Tony Hawk was great for what it did in the intro, and the soundtracks, but Skate perfected what Tony Hawk did.
Yeah, Skate was
because
like
I played both.
Skate was like a whole new. It was like Tony Hawk was like if you got to the point where you were good at Tony Hawk, it was like you were doing stuff like that was impossible, like million-point tricks and all that kind of stuff, and it was cool. But Skate was like, I'm just trying to land this version. Like front side nose slide across this bench, and land it. And you gotta, it's like you gotta get the controls right. You can't just cheese on that one.
Kickflip, nose slide, land in a manual. The hardest thing ever.
Yeah.
On Skate.
Yeah.
Super easy on Tony Hawk because you'll go from that right into grinding power lines
to a 900 flip.
Exactly.
Like doing the full grind all the way around like a bullfighting ring. While jumping.
And the only thing they had was like they did have the one little feature where the longer you grind, the more the balance starts to wobble and you have to kind of fight against that. But even that was still fairly simple. Let's see. Let me just shoot her a message. Get her attention. Give my 30 minutes. She said 30 minutes. And I know I'm like, wait.
We talk about Denisha. Yeah, you better get her on here. You better get her on here. I got some Lord of the Rings questions for her.
So, I don't think she wants to talk about that.
As a fellow LOTR fan, I just want to know what her major gripe / what she did not like.
Right, and honestly, I'll be fair. It's for me, it's not a grind session, but I am curious too, especially if someone is interested in sword and sorcery. If that's her jam, then I'm curious what it is about Lord of the Rings that doesn't quite fit. Because as you had mentioned earlier, as we were talking, Jeffrey, you were saying that even though it falls under fantasy has like a ton of different subgenres as well. So it's not just one overall fantasy thing. Because like I can understand how somebody might like Game of Thrones, but not like Lord of the Rings.
And see, I get that because you're right.
Because that's like war. Whereas Lord of the Rings is like, it's got war in it, but it's not a war film. It's a quest film.
Right. And there's even the political intrigue that's involved in Game of Thrones is interesting. You start getting caught up in the politics of it because, and I'm sure we'll get to it if we want to just jump right into House of Dragons. I know we'll get that out the way since I know Jeffrey doesn't watch, but the political intrigue that was in this last episode it's one of those things you really get to thinking about it because let me just throw up our spoiler banner so everybody knows if you watching, we own some spoiler right now. But as we're talking House of Dragons, you've got like the king is in a situation where he's got to make this change. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to have an heir. He ends up naming his daughter as the heir, which is like unheard of because who does that? A woman as the heir? They're not trying to hear that. And so as we follow through, right, exactly, inconceivable. And so as we're kind of watching through and seeing what's happening there, it's like the king has to have a wife so that the king can produce heirs. That part right there, just the fact that he now has to have a wife and everything that gets tied into that, you got people like trying to make some power moves and, our houses should combine, we would be unstoppable kind of things. Meanwhile, this man can't even properly mourn the loss of his wife, the loss of his child, because, city must run. The government must continue. The monarchy doesn't get a day off.
My main tipping point was the fact that after he announced her as his heir, she's not on the small council. She's still serving cups to the small council.
Right. She's just a cupbearer. She's no change in the level of import. So it's really one of those things.
She did redeem herself with dealing with Daemon, though.
Oh, no doubt.
She showed up unannounced and got the dragon egg back and did some other stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like
that was
right there. I
definitely
was like,
gangster.
okay, all right, yeah, like that was hardcore.
Yeah, that was definitely a gangster move right there, and that was her showing like she has additional value. And even her father took time. The king was like, okay, I give you that. That was pretty cool. But at the same time, it's like we kind of saw the relationship she had with her uncle to begin with, and so
She was closer to him than her father. I saw
right.
that.
You know what I'm saying? And so of course he was like, he doesn't want to do anything to hurt her, and he realizes that it's not totally her fault for the position she's in, and yet it's still her fault for the position she's in. And you get those kind of situations, and it gets to be a little interesting, and it's still like, how are they going to handle this? How are they going to move forward with that? But so far, we're 2 episodes in, and there hasn't just been all this action, all these battles, these fights, because the tournaments, that doesn't count. That was the only decent real fight we've had so far.
And man, that childbirth scene was worse than the turning scene, though, dude.
Oh, no doubt. I mean,
like, I had to look away during the childbirth scene, and then the turning scene would come back on and be like, all right, oh, we back to childbirth? We back to childbirth? Okay.
Right, but that was pretty tough in and up, in its own right. And that actually just shows to show like the kind of struggles they had back then. Because of course we're talking like, at this time, given that this would be the, medieval time, so to speak, Middle Ages and such, like ain't no you're not getting a shot and numbing nothing out.
Yep.
You dealing with it
and at this point, Europe is actually like last in the world. They're like way behind everybody else in like medicine and hygiene and all kinds of stuff. So
clearly
it was like having a baby back then was just like it would probably kill you.
Jeffrey, do you watch? Or are you gonna watch?
I'll probably watch eventually, but like I'm not like invested enough for you guys to like need to avoid anything for my sake.
When the king grabbed her hand and said they're gonna get the baby out, I knew right then, in that moment when he grabbed her hand and looked her in the eye and said they're gonna get the baby out, I was like, you about to die. You about to die.
The Meister had already pretty much flat out said, like, okay, we got two choices.
Her
lose
or
them
the
both,
baby.
Or you can lose her. And we can give a shot on the baby. So when we get to the next scene and we see the funeral pyre and whatnot, that was kind of heartbreaking. It was like, oh man, all of that, and you still don't get to keep the baby. Like, dang.
Yeah, but they did a really good job of that, where they showed her and then pan back, and you're like, oh, okay,
right,
okay. So
yeah, I'm still liking everything that they've done in the show. It's holding my attention. Still has a lot of intrigue, a lot of interest, and I am curious for it to move forward. And I would love to get a little bit more action. I would like to get some of the other stuff, because I'm wondering, with a show like this, given the time period, like I said before, they've set it back 172 years. So I'm curious how many seasons they could milk out of this time period. Because at some point, in order to advance the story, they have to like fast forward. They have to get a little further along. They can't.
This is why I'm actually interested in the show, because this is what I always say about like Star Wars, where I feel like if Star Wars was going to do prequels, they should have did it like this, where it was like so far into the past before like the original ones that instead of telling the origin story of people who we already know, like tell us the origin story of like even just like the Skywalker clan to like begin with, you know what I mean? And that's before Luke Skywalker, Anakin, and midichlorians and all that kind of stuff like that. Where, if we're going to explore part of the universe, I feel like let's try to get it's like coloring with crayons. Like use the same crayons in the box, but like color it a different way. Color, the trees don't have to be green. Like, yeah, sure, trees are green, but like switch it up. Let's do something where we're not just like being self-reverential the whole time. And I get fan service, but like serve the art first. You know what I mean? Serve the story first. Build on the lore. Give people more things to love rather than just using like stuff they already love like, as a crutch.
But you
So
see
this
that
is
in
actually
anything though. Like MCU took what? How many films before they started delving into like stuff that only true fans know?
I mean, yeah,
Hell, I
they've
mean,
always had Easter eggs
even
though, but it's
Fast and the Furious didn't get crazy till like 6. They played.
five,
It takes a couple movies. It takes.
Yeah, Fast Five was
five,
the.
five when The Rock came. He
I was gonna
said, I
say
mean, when The
Fast Five.
Rock
That was
did
the one where they were pulling the safe through
that's
the
the one in
city.
Brazil.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
That got a little crazy right
That
there.
was
It was
the
on
one
something.
that was the one that established the formula that we're gonna have a gigantic like car stunt, and we're gonna see how long we can get away with having it 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, like on the runway trying to take this plane off. People falling off, boxes falling off, cars falling off. This plane still ain't took off.
So I got a good question for you guys because I have Fast and the 4 or 5 is where I stopped tuning out. Ronin. I don't know if you guys remember the film Ronin.
Yes.
But that car chase scene that was all done in one shot still stands as one of the best car scenes I've ever seen. Does Fast and the Furious ever get better than that?
Yes.
They do.
Fast 5.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I would say Fast 5 the chase scene in Fast 5.
Because I've seen Transporter 1, 2, and 3. I've seen Baby Driver. I've seen
the one where they drop the planes out of they drop the cars out of the plane in one, and like stuff is flying off cliffs and cars almost flying off cliffs, and they driving downhill through the like jungles of Africa. And Paul Walker's fighting Tony Jaa inside of like a giant prison bus. That's pretty crazy. There's like one where it's like a 3-pronged assault. There's one where they're running from they're like trying to outrun a drone in downtown LA in just like multiple cars, and they're just like switching people in cars at random traffic lights. Meanwhile, Vin Diesel is fighting Jason Statham in some random parking lot, and then The Rock checks himself out of a hospital, rips a cast off of his broken arm, and drives an ambulance to the scene.
Flexes the cast off.
The cast off, drives an ambulance to the scene where he shoots the drone with a turret gun that he's holding by hand.
Okay.
Not like attached to
full
anything.
roadblock, like Halo. Detach it
him in the street
and hold it. Yeah.
Fresh arm out of a cast. So it's ridiculous, but in the best ways. Oh, driving a car between the 2 tallest buildings in Dubai.
And to clarify that point,
I say between, I mean like in the air,
out of one building on like just short of the penthouse.
Yeah.
Shoot across the open air and land in another building and stop before you end up on the other side.
Yeah, but they did that in oh my gosh,
they didn't do this.
Eclipse or Black Eclipse or something back in the 80s. Not The Wraith. The Wraith was an amazing revenge movie with Charlie Sheen and
right. I remember that.
There was another movie where they I can't remember what it was called, but they drove off one building, launched through the air and landed on a lower floor, and then stopped and went down through the building. I can't remember what it's called right now, but it had like a Lamborghini or a Bugatti in it or that kind of thing. But it was late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, I mean, there's like to the point of whether or not there we go. Sorry. I just always like having her energy. Here she is.
Uh-oh.
We know who the important person is.
Yeah. We're all just filler. We all just filler.
Like, I know I'm the opening act. It's like,
no.
I mean, to go on.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even like that. I'm not trying to say like we gonna focus on her.
There you go. Sam was all put all the emphasis, but we all
not gonna put all the emphasis on her or nothing.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, first off, let me say, since she's here, and I know she like
that ain't coffee in that cup.
Every reason to fuss with me. Let me say officially, so everybody can hear this. I have been slipping. I got a lateral promotion at work. And so my lateral, you don't have to clap because it's lateral. It's lateral. All it means is somebody recognizes the work that I'm doing and put me in a position to do the work properly.
Okay.
It'd be nice if it came with pay compensation, but we'll work on that. The fact that I was recognized and my boss's boss was like, yeah, let's make that happen. Hey, that's a start. Step in the right direction. Somebody knows my name.
There you go.
But as a result, I suddenly lost what little free time I didn't have. And my company just want us to work all the time. And because of that, I'm like, 6-day work week, 6-day work week, 6-day work week. And I'm like, aren't we union? Can I complain to somebody? But they're like, no, show up to work. And so, Denisha, I have watched our 2 movies. I might even just like clip this part out. Maybe we'll cover it right here. But I watched Scorpion King. Why did I watch that? And what was the other we watched? Wow. Secret Window.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Okay.
And let me say, you know what? We'll dive into it here in a moment.
Which was the stronger movie to you? Because I'm leaning towards Scorpion King, unfortunately.
Actually, yeah. Scorpion King, believe it or not, this is one of those, like, if I had to rate it, I got to rate it like a solid 6.5. Like the movie.
Which one would you watch again?
Probably Scorpion King. Yeah. Probably Scorpion King. Yeah. Because, and here's the thing. So, you know what? We're just going to go right into, this is a live episode of Why Did I Watch That? That's what we're going to do. This is Why Did I Watch That? Special live edition. And we'll have some guests here with us. And maybe I can clip this out and make this a separate video as well. Let me put my little note. Why did I watch that? Boom. Right at the 37, right at the 27-minute mark. 27.
Cool. We can do a live therapy episode too.
I'm with it.
I mean, if you've seen those 2 movies, you probably need therapy.
You know the funny part is?
You need to talk to someone, especially if you've seen Secret Window. And yeah.
Okay, now Secret Window's about to get ripped. That's the one that's really gonna get ripped. But let me just say that Secret Window is Johnny Depp, John Turturro,
and like
John Turturro in an excellent performance.
Oh, he was great in that.
You know what? I like John Turturro in almost anything he does, including the Transformers movies.
He's the only.
He brings a comedy and a levity to the situation that.
He's the only white actor who's ever played a racist on screen who I still like fuck with.
Right, like
wow.
Most white actors, when you play like that, I can't even really look at Leo like that.
Yeah,
right.
I can only watch Free Django Leo. Like after
Edward
Django,
Norton, after American History X, it took me a while to get back with Edward Norton because
the dude,
it was that concrete.
The dude from the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond. In Monsters Ball or something like that.
Yeah. No. Even I was shocked by that.
Jerry Stiller?
I watched Everybody Loves Raymond, and I saw Monsters Ball or whatever, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Like that was heavy.
So
you feel like this too, Ray?
So when I sat down to watch Scorpion King, the first thing that came to mind with Scorpion King is like, I'm watching a movie with still a wrestler Rock.
Yes.
And I had to kind of like
early acting days.
Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And the very first thing that came to mind was I watched Scorpion King. I was like, oh, wait, is this the one where he looked real stupid in the CGI? And then I was like, oh, no, that was The Mummy.
That was The Mummy.
Right. That was in The Mummy. It wasn't in this.
Yeah.
So, okay. And
still didn't look great, though.
It still didn't look great. But, okay, issue number 1. I'm really upset with that hairpiece that they put on The Rock, where he's supposed to have this long hair, but dude's hairline is in like the middle of his head.
As someone that can appreciate hairpieces, I definitely understand that.
He was holding on to that. If you watch wrestling, he was holding on to that hair for far too long. He should have let that thing go in like 2001, 2002.
Jeffrey, I'm sorry, but like,
no, he went on that.
I understand where this man is coming from. I
know
get
he,
it.
yeah.
I
you know he
understand.
you
If
know
I
he
could
went
hold
on
on to
that
my
set.
hair, I would do it.
You know he went
The
on
only
that
hair
set.
I have is right
for
here
hair
and on my
makeup.
back.
He said hair maker. He said, "Do not." He's like, "You better not mess it up."
But Marco Clark Duncan, his hair was god awful too. Like,
Yeah.
what the
That's what
hell?
I'm
Like,
saying.
why
That's why
did you
you
even have to put that on your head? Like,
wasn't
representation
necessary.
matters. That's why you need black
it was
hair
horrible.
makeup artists.
It was horrible.
Definitely. But you know what? Some of the warrior women from the tribe that Michael Clark Duncan was in, they were okay.
Mhm.
Like, you know, their hairstyles, they had a couple of natural styles happening. One chick had braids.
A lot of
whatnot.
black women go
Kelly,
to set. A lot
Kelly
of black women in
who?
the industry, they go to set with their own hair done already.
I was just
Right.
about to
That's
say
why
they went to
or
the
they
makeup
do their
artist
own
and
hair
said,
so that it
I'm
will
good
work out.
already.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
good already. I'm good.
No, I get that because I know a professional, like she's Bravo contracted, been on tons of shows, and she's hair, makeup, the whole bit. So I know kind of what she was saying, like some of the other people have to go through, because she was contracted to one of the artists on Real Housewives, and Bravo picked her up, but she only like got contracted to one or two people instead of just doing everybody. Some people come and they have to do their own stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
The
just wanna
Rock.
say,
I've seen
I can't
movies.
relate, but I've paid for enough. I've paid for enough that I get it.
Right.
So
it's but see, here's the thing as far as like the hair.
there is a vast difference between telling one girl to go out and get her hair done and then having a black woman go out and get her hair done. I have seen the difference in my pocketbook.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but if it's done right, I'm sorry. If it is done right, it is worth the difference.
Without fail.
So,
Without fail. But again, my issue with the way they had his character's hair set up was like, I've watched enough kung fu movies in the past. The Asian monks who have like just the one long ponytail on the top of their head,
the top
or
knot.
if they do the half bald in the front with the hair in the back, it doesn't look bad. It looks like it's supposed to be there. Whoever did this piece, it looked like a prosthetic.
It looked like it was sewn in his head. It was horrible.
Right. It was just
It was very distracting.
So gapingly obvious in every scene.
But that's how they do us, man.
Now, going through the movie, it was like, you know what? This was definitely a through and through action. I was kind of disappointed that there were two other brothers in the movie, and what was the point of even having them there? Because they were in the scene. They were in the movie for all of 10 minutes. They were there for the opening scene when they collected 20 rubies, and then they immediately got killed off. And it was like, with the movie opening and one of the brothers has already been captured, and they're like holding him hostage or whatnot, and they're threatening to kill him. And of course, he's talking smack. He's like, well, you know, don't let my brother show up. And of course, here comes The Rock to save the day, save his brother. And, you know, there was a couple of scenes played for laughs, and they kind of worked. And the action sequences were cheesy, and it was, you know, big action film, summer blockbuster kind of action. It was cool.
If I had watched it back in the day when it came out, it would have been okay. But to watch
even
it now is cringy.
Even now, it was still just okay. It didn't improve.
For early 2000s movie, it was...
Right. Like, you certainly have the benefit of the doubt of what's going on. And you're like, okay, you know, this is cool. I can see why people would enjoy this. This is all right.
Like, it's not worse than like Roadhouse, and everybody talks about that movie like it's like
Roadhouse.
the Citizen Kane of 80s action, one white man saves everybody.
2 words, Sam Elliott.
You know, even as a straight male, I have to agree with Denisha on that one. Like, Sam Elliott redeems that movie.
Yeah,
Dragon Wars is my movie that I measure.
This man ripped a man's throat out at a lake while the barn was on fire.
But Jeffrey, you missed the point. He did it with extremely tight jeans when he did it.
Right. Like, you had to be
his
there.
Scrotum was in his throat when he did this. Okay.
The man was blowing.
So Jamie
girlfriend watched.
No. Jamie is agreeing with you on that Sam Elliott. See, and it's like, I thought Patrick Swayze would have been the draw for that.
No.
That was
Sam Elliott.
Was that his bonus?
I've met 20-somethings, I've met 30-somethings, 40-somethings, 50-somethings that all agree that Sam Elliott could get it. So he could get it even now.
The hair and the mustache
and the gravelly voice. See,
definitely the voice. I get that part.
I've met multiple women that said Sam Elliott in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah. Now, I do recall that in Scorpion King, as I was watching,
yes, Patrick Swayze is.
As I'm watching in the opening credits and everything, I see that Vince McMahon was an executive producer, of course, and it was also produced by WWE Films.
Of course.
No shock there. Like, no shock at all. It is very... the movie is exactly what you think it's going to be. But I have to admit that it's not a hard story to follow. It's...
You can go do something and come back and still be.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You have to admit that anytime you get to a part 3 of a series, like your expectations go down just a hair.
Well, see, the Scorpion King technically being
it was
a
an
spinoff.
aside. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a solo.
This one was.
I think too. It was like one. Everybody was playing off of the success of The Mummy, and then you go and you make a movie with The Rock, and I think people were just hating. A lot of people were just hating on The Rock because if you were watching like wrestling around this time, it was like a lot of conversation about, oh, he's too good for like WWE. He's trying to go Hollywood to the point where there's like a whole WWE Hollywood Rock like villain arc where he like comes back, bald head, he's wearing all black leather, and that's
where the phrase finally.
So that eyebrow, though. That eyebrow, though.
This is after that. He was going finally when he was like a fan favorite, but then when he came back after acting, he would just walk out and just roast whatever city he was in. And like there's a famous one in Sacramento where he's playing the guitar and he just talks about how like the Lakers like always beat the Kings in the playoffs or something, and how Sacramento's a crappy town. And it's just like he would just walk out there and get booed like every night. And
that was his heel turn.
Even John Cena did an interview about like how they didn't like him and all that because they were mad that he had kind of, stepped away from wrestling.
Hollywood. Yeah.
And then John Cena was like, well, now I get it. Like if you're trying to craft this and really be an actor, you don't have time for wrestling. Like you don't.
So. Well, and wrestling fans are like, as nerds, as geeks ourselves, we like kind of understand that it's like after a certain age, even if you watch wrestling, like it's a lot of people that watch wrestling but don't talk about the fact that they watch wrestling still. But the people who are like, yeah, like I'm all about it. It's like that's like a subsection of like geekdom that's not even like folded into like ours. Like I feel like comic book and like
whatever like comic book man is, it's whoever that's equal to.
Yeah,
right.
But like there's not like an overlap in the groups really. It's like the meathead nerd who's like all into wrestling but doesn't think that they're a nerd because it's wrestling.
Well, see, and you know what? We used to have conversations about this all the time, and you know what? I said an episode or two back. It was a weigh-in Wednesday or two back. I was like, you know what? We're just gonna bury the hatchet and let it be what it is. But that was something Tony and I used to talk about all the time. How like some of your big sports fans are like, you all are sports geeks. I need you to understand that when you wear the jersey, that's cosplay, bro. Mm-hmm. When you show up for every game, you know all the stats. That's no different than me knowing which issue this is or what episode of the show that I watched that happened in. Anytime you get that kind of passion, you get that level of fandom, that is what you geek out about. And you're welcome to be a geek for that kind of thing. And you still have gatekeepers over that because you have people who are like, are you a Falcons fan? Well, who was the second string kicker in the 1987 team? Bruh, I don't know.
Mom.
And I don't care.
Your mom. I tease my best friend Tiffany about this all the time. She swears up and down she's not a nerd, she's not a geek. But if I ask her anything about Ohio State, she's like, "Oh, they had this many passing yards and this." I'm like, "I'm sorry, are you geeking out right now?" She's like, "Shut up."
How many?
Shut up.
how many
I
Ohio
love teasing
items
her
does
about
she have around? She probably got Ohio shirts, Ohio tag on her car.
I have bought several for her as birthday gifts. Like, yes.
She's got an Ohio tumbler. You know what I'm saying?
She does.
Like,
She does. Her baby has an Ohio baby diaper bag. Like,
that's a geek.
Granted, it was bought for her by someone I know.
Baby
but,
had
you know,
Ohio baby.
I can make Michigan jokes with her all day long, and she cackles, and I'm like, I don't even get the joke.
So,
but here Michigan is an Ohio State rival, so she loves it.
Yeah.
And then I accuse her of geeking out. She's like, "Shut up."
It's like one of the biggest rivals.
She gets that whole face on her. She's like, "I'm not a geek. I'm not." So I love it. Love it.
Yep. So okay. So with the Scorpion King, like normally, like I said, we try to find one.
Give us the stats. You didn't do the stats. You got to do
the stats. Okay, so Scorpion King. Let's see. This movie released April 17th, 2002. It was distributed by Universal Pictures. This comes. This is a spinoff from The Mummy Returns. Surprisingly enough, 41% Rotten Tomatoes. Got a 41 Rotten Tomatoes, but here's the kicker. Got a 37 audience score. Usually with movies like this, the tomato meter is down and the audience score is a little higher. The audience liked it less than the critics. That is not hard to believe, but shocking. But
it's not that big of a spread, though.
It's pretty close. So
and I mean, it's about right for when it came out / the number it was in the series for me.
Now, what is let's see. Normally, I try to find.
I've seen it once. I can't say I've seen it twice.
Box office. Well, I like look. Once upon a time, Kelly Hu was like, you know. Kelly
she was dope.
Kelly Hu. I was still very much appreciating Kelly Hu.
Yeah, no, she was dope
in this. And there's a line towards the end of the movie that I was like, okay, yeah, I get that. That makes sense. Let's see. Like I don't quite recall what the budget on this one was, but it pulled in 167 million at the box office. Which, you know, let's see, it grossed 12 million on its opening day, 36 million in total over the weekend. Which at the time,
know what else was
that's not bad. Though. That's not bad.
Well, at the time, that was better than what The Matrix had done for an April opening weekend. That was like, it set some records then.
See, the wrestling nerds came out. They didn't want to admit it.
By today's standards, you know, like, nah, we ain't even, that wouldn't even blink an eye. Because I mean,
it wasn't horrible. It's a nice movie to kind of have on in the background. I just really noticed myself laughing at things that weren't supposed to be funny. Like there are jokes planted in the movie that like, yeah, ha, ha, ha. But I was laughing at a lot of things that was not like a part of any joke.
I was laughing at
back then were like crazy.
Yeah. Rock fans were worse than like you have the phrase Hulkamania, but Rockamania need to be a thing because I knew people who were like, when I tell you like super hardcore rock fans and
running around calling everybody a candy ass and all that,
bruh. In the early 2000s, like who wasn't really a rock fan though? Let's be honest.
I may or not called some people some candy asses back then. I'm not gonna lie. It was a long time ago. It was popular. I may have done it.
The only time I would ever ask anybody what their name was just so I could be like, it doesn't matter what your name is.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it doesn't matter.
That still holds up. That's still good.
Look, because you can still hit somebody like, wait, what did you do? It does. I mean, and it still works. So that he's definitely carved out his place as far as WWE history. No question with that. $60 million budget and a total worldwide gross 178 million. It's safe to say successful movie overall.
Yeah.
Roger
Triple
Ebert.
The budget, yeah.
Roger Ebert gave it 3 out of 4 stars and admits that the movie embraces its goofiness like a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's a recycled plot using recycled jobs. The special effects are bad enough that you can laugh at them, and the dialogue sounds like pre-pyramid desert warriors are channeling a Fox sitcom. But
got it right.
But
got it right.
It's fun. You can, like Denisha said, you can play it in the background. And if you get up and walk off and come back, you know exactly what's happening.
Yeah. You definitely missed nothing.
Exactly. And you've got some decent stuff to look at. Now I will say I also laughed at things that probably weren't meant to be funny. The whole argument and conversation that took place. Hey, Roberto, what's going on, man? Did I send? Let me just throw that link out in the chat just in case anybody wanna hop on in here. Yeah, we might get 3 in a row. Going to get that black light out here.
Hey, I'm waiting for the day that we have like 12 people on here. That's what I'm waiting for.
It'll happen.
It'll be 10.
10.
I'm not paying for premium yet.
37 people on the chat. That's what I'm aiming for, Sam. 37.
And you know what? The more people we have live viewing to be a part of the conversation, the better the conversation is, because we have people weighing in, talking, and giving us their opinions, and that's what we're here to do. But nonetheless, the one of the redeeming qualities for me in this movie, without a doubt, Kelly Hu.
And the amazing CGI.
Love Kelly Hu. But you know what's surprising? This movie actually didn't have. Oh, what's going on, Jamie? I love when you pop in. You always bring good stuff to the table. There really wasn't a lot of CGI required for this movie. Most of it was practical effects. And that's actually kind of applaudable. You know what I'm saying? I give them a little bit of credit for that. There was some continuity things that I've just kind of subconsciously trained myself to see. So they stood out and they were glaringly obvious. All in all, I did not hate this movie. And it's something that if I was flipping through the channels and nothing else was on, I might leave it on this while I go do something else.
I agree with that. It's not necessarily a channel stopper, but it's one of those like, I will stop on it and at least watch an action sequence or two, right, and then change the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'll remember that this is on this channel, and if I can't find anything else, then maybe we just go back to this.
Egyptian Roadhouse.
Wow.
I don't think any throats got ripped out, but
and there's no Sam Elliott. I'm sorry, there's no comparison on that one. There's
yeah, without a doubt, definitely.
But nobody goes and is like, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to go watch Roadhouse.
Oh, and Roadhouse is on, but if it's on,
TNT USA. I even watch country music television.
Jeffrey, I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I know enough women that if they're flipping channels and Roadhouse comes on and they see Sam Elliott,
watching.
The remote goes down.
I'm watching Roadhouse.
But if it comes up movies for guys who like movies, I might just let it play.
Like, think about this. Tell me what streaming service Roadhouse is on. You don't know.
No. Look, I don't own it on DVD.
It's probably on Tubi or something.
But he got you there. You can't be like, oh, it's on Amazon Prime.
It used to come on TBS though, like all the time.
And we all used to have TBS, but I didn't have cable in like 10 years. So
right.
That's probably the last time you seen Roadhouse too.
I mean, it's
Roadhouse. But you know what's so funny though? When I think about Roadhouse, the only thing that
hits you
out
Paramount Plus.
Oh wow, somebody knew. Somebody knew.
Paramount Plus.
No, I don't know if that person
Googled that.
Is the Family Guy episode now? My mind automatically goes to Family Guy, and that's my love for Roadhouse.
You know what? We were talking about trivia tonight, and I said we were talking about some parody or something. And I said, you know what? And he referenced Family Guy. And I said, Family Guy has ruined more movies for me as far as references or recalling the movie in my head. I can't recall the movie, but I can recall the Family Guy episode about the movie.
Yeah.
I do that a lot, like with the Beverly Hills Cop thing. I'm always like, din, 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 and then another din. And people like don't get it. I'm like, it's from Family Guy.
Mine has always been, you can't have a banana in the tailpipe. I think I'm gonna have to kick your ass. You put a banana in my tailpipe. So if they with the new movie that's coming out, if they don't make some kind of banana tailpipe reference, I'm gonna be kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie.
You know they're gonna mention it.
Yeah.
I like the part where he has to come back to the police station, and the police captain just comes out, and that's when he meets him for the first time after he caused all that trouble. And the police captain's just like, "Is this the man?" Like, what?
Oh, so goofy. Oh my god.
That was one of the ones where like my cousins would always rewind that part and just like watch it like 10 times in a row. Yeah.
No, for me, I think probably the best scene is kind of like Jeff was saying. I like when he comes like, yeah, and we're not going to fall for the banana and the tailpipe. Oh my God, we're not going to fall for them. We've been hanging around this guy too long. Like that moment right there, it's like, even to this day, I use that as a quote to let somebody know, like, you know, like, hey, look, not going to fall for the banana and the tailpipe, you know? And it's just like, they'd be like, what? I'd be like, oh, dang, that's right. You're like 25. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Right. And then the gray hair gets grayer in that.
Another one pops out. Another one just
like
boop. Right.
And laughs at you.
So, Denisha, what was your redeeming quality for Scorpion King? Was there anything that actually worked? Or was it all just, we can poke fun at it and they know we're going to poke fun at it and let's just have a good time with that?
Did you see it when it came out or did you watch it recently is the main thing?
Well, we always rewatch before we talk about it, but I saw it when it came out.
Because I felt differently about it when I watched it in the day.
Yeah.
Versus catching it later.
Yeah.
I
hated it back then.
No, 2002 me was all in on I'm not gonna front. I was all in 2002 because that was during the rock heyday. Kelly Hu was bang, like I was like, yeah, let's get it. And this was coming off of the success of Brendan Fraser's Mummy and Mummy Returns. And I was like, the first thing I remember saying was like, oh, see, they did much better with this. Look at this. Like, see, he doesn't even look stupid right now.
And then 2 minutes later into the movie, we were like, I take it back.
And now, of course, now that I have a little bit better discerning taste in movies and whatnot, I'm looking, I'm like, they really let my mans go out there looking like that.
But you know what? Mummy and Mummy Returns still kind of hold up, though.
So that did lead into me rewatching those movies, which we could talk about later. But my redeeming thing, the sorceress character, like I didn't mind. I think that was a pretty good character. I like the whole twist of, you know, that's how they kept kings from sleeping with them. That's, you know, she didn't lose her powers and like all of that. And I think the outfits were ridiculous, but whatever. But, you know, she held her own and all of that kind of stuff. And of course, I mean, The Rock, he looked great. The movie did what it was supposed to do. Exactly. You know, you don't walk away feeling like, oh, no, it's awful. You know, it's just like the movie was what it was supposed to be. And I was perfectly fine to watch it.
Right. And like I said, watching the movie, you know, going back and looking at it now, it was kind of like, you know what? It actually doesn't suck. It's I'm not wowed by it.
Yeah, I'm not recommending it to anybody, but
like I'm not gonna go out and buy a DVD.
It's an A- for sure.
Strong C+.
B+.
I was about to say maybe
strong C+.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, but I've seen Beastmaster 2 and Troll 2 and stuff like that. Those are now D movies, bro.
D.
Some of the movies,
if not an F-, are bad.
That's how I was more like it.
Beastmaster still holds up. That's still a B-. There's certain movies from my heyday that I grew up with that I can rewatch now, and I'm like, nostalgia filter, all that kind of stuff. It's still a B movie.
Okay,
Mummy 1, Mummy 2, Mummy Returns.
Whatever keeps me from watching Lord of the Rings again, I am perfectly. I love you, Jeff. You know that.
Pull out Kroll.
Sorry.
Hey, Jeff.
Right, I'm sorry. I gotta agree with
I got one Jeff against me, one Jeff on my side.
If you think Lord of the Rings is bad, watch Kroll. You will say Lord of the Rings is a blockbuster. And I love Kroll. It's one of the few movies I still have on DVD.
It's so corny and it's so good.
I still have Kroll, Princess Bride, and Ice Pirate.
Well, see, but like Princess Bride is inconceivable unbelievable. Like, I mean,
Denisha, you like me. We like movies from that time, but we like shit like Robin Hood and like Merlin and all that stuff.
Oh,
like
Merlin!
when you start getting into elves versus trolls and niggas living in the ground and Precious, and I'm like, this is weird.
It was a lot of just soft talking. Like, I don't know.
And no, you know what? We're gonna cover Lord of the Rings. I'm not gonna make you go heavy into it. We'll cover that in a moment.
Okay.
I gotta get Secret Window off my chest.
Okay. All right.
So the other movie we reviewed recently for Why Did I Watch That is Secret Window. Let me get the stats on Secret Window because I am I'm mad that I put an SE in it. My computer automatically knew to pull that up.
This is one of those movies where when you watch like a sitcom and they're trying to like the couple trying to pick a movie to go see. This the kind of movie they always had a wife pick. And he's like, man, I don't want to go see that sappies. It's like, next thing you know, you in there crying watching Secret Window.
Okay.
I cried because I watched Secret Window, not because of the movie.
So
it's like, why am I in this theater? Oh my God.
So first off, Secret Window, 2004. It falls under mystery thriller. It has a 46% tomato meter and surprisingly a 65% audience score. Again, like we said, somehow this one, like, more people liked it than the critics. Yeah. The top critic consensus is that Depp is quirkily entertaining, but the movie runs out of steam by the end.
That's just about any Depp movie you watch.
By the time you get to the twist and everything, you're tired. Like, you don't care. Like, it took a lot to get there, and you're just like, huh? Oh, okay. I guess that's okay.
No. Okay, so I like Johnny Depp.
Anthony, be glad you haven't.
I like Johnny Depp. I like him as an actor. I don't care what he's in. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm usually mad at myself afterwards, but it's okay.
I'd rather see Channing Tatum reprise the role of Johnny Depp than actually watch Johnny Depp, unless it involves pirates.
No. I like watching Johnny Depp. Like, no, I don't want to watch Channing Tatum. Like, you know what? I really don't want.
I'm sorry. 21 Jump Street was way better than the original series.
21 Jump Street. Okay, that's an exception, but maybe.
Yeah, but I feel like Jonah
also
Hill
Johnny Depp was funny in that too.
He was.
Give me 3 good Channing Tatum movies. No. Give me 3 good Channing Tatum movies, Jeff.
21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, and Magic Mike.
XL.
All right, I was like, which one?
Period.
I've seen one, but not the other. So, hey.
So we're not gonna count all the other stuff that Channing Tatum has done.
Yeah, there was literally, what was that movie? What was it called? Side Effects. Yeah. I was so happy. He ended up dying early in the movie, but you didn't know that. But I was literally happy because I was like, "Oh, this might be a good movie now."
Let me tell you,
it was terrible in G.I. Joe.
It was still horrible.
Even in Kingsman, I was mad Channing Tatum was there, and I love Kingsman.
Oh yeah,
but I could not stand the character.
I'll agree that I forgot he was in that, and G.I. Joe was horrible. So
I'd much rather watch Johnny Depp than Channing Tatum any day.
All right, I retract my statement. I retract my statement.
Good Johnny Depp movies, yeah.
He would have been number 2 on my Hollywood shit list if he had actually got that Gambit movie made with him in it. I don't know what mirror or movie or whatever he's seen himself in that thinks that he can do that. But
I feel like you have a personal attachment to the character of Gambit,
and I have to be honest,
and not liking Channing Tatum. I'm
saying Channing Tatum cool with me, but if he would have did that movie, he would have been number 2 under M. Night Shyamalan on my list.
I had a friend remind me about Benny and June, which I love.
Edward
and I did not remember, so I have to give post.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
I don't like What's Eating Gilbert Grape because of DiCaprio.
From Hell?
From Hell was decent. Not really my type of movie, but I
Sleepy
did
Hollow.
Finding Neverland.
All right. All right.
Ooh.
I am sorry. I am
It's cool.
sorry.
It's
I
cool.
forgot about Sleepy Hollow.
It's cool.
I forgot about Sleepy Hollow.
No.
I am
It's
sorry,
cool.
everyone.
So here we go.
So
Johnny Depp, Secret Window. Now, for everything good that Johnny Depp does, he also does some bullshit that kind of like.
He's bordering on Nicolas Cage, right?
Right.
He's getting
Like,
right there.
I could not figure out the best way to describe it. He is
Blow.
like one bad movie
Blow.
away from being Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
See,
that
the
is
thing
exactly
with Johnny Depp is he's been in so much stuff, you forget that he's been in it.
And no, he's been in so much stuff that you kind of just overlook the bad shit and try to remember the good stuff.
Nicolas Cage.
Precisely. Now,
Con Air still holds a special place in my heart. I'm sorry.
It's a great movie.
When he steps out of the plane and that fake hair goes, I'm like, oh, I wish I had hair like that.
We could get into a lot of good stuff with Nick Cage, but we would not do it. We would do a special Nick Cage episode of something. Because it's like up, down, left, right. It goes all over the place.
And he's secretly one of them actors that black people like low key fuck with, but we don't really be like, yeah, throwing that Nicolas Cage. But
no, right, yeah.
I mean Johnny Depp too, to be real.
Yeah.
Like, you've been sitting around and all of a sudden you and your boys just watching Edward Scissorhands because nobody.
Look, hey dog, you want to change that? I mean, if you want to change it, go ahead. I mean, whatever you want to do.
and then the credits are rolling.
Oh, she's the old lady now. Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right, like you just let it be. So
It's still snowing.
Here's what happened with Secret Window. So I sat down. I did, surprisingly enough, Secret Window was not a rewatch for me. This was actually my first time watching Secret
I was
Window.
surprised when you told me that.
And I was like, it was one of those movies that I kept telling myself I was gonna watch. And I kept hearing that it wasn't good. So I was just like, I'll get to it. Never got around to it. Then we decided we're gonna do Why Did I Watch That? Cool. Ooh.
And see, Sam, I can say
Oh yeah,
this.
Blow.
Secret Window came out in my Blockbuster Hollywood
Fear and
days.
Loathing, Las Vegas.
And there's a lot of movies back in my Hollywood Blockbuster days that I would not have watched, but because it was during that time period and I needed to know about it / recommend it.
Oh no,
I watched it.
That was like
Blow, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I don't know if you remember
a whole bunch.
So Jeff, we're gonna have a sidebar real quick. Do you remember the Blockbuster that was on 138 in front of where Big Lots is, right across from diagonal from Kroger?
Yeah.
Do you remember Michelle that used to work there?
Yeah. Vaguely.
Okay,
I worked at the Honey Creek one and the Salem Road one.
Okay.
So I would go to the Sigmund Road one.
Right.
And the one there at the Kroger.
Okay, so I was assistant manager. I was assistant manager to Michelle at the 138 one before I went down to Honey Creek. And I was only at Sigmund for like a week, so that doesn't count for me.
Yeah, the Sigmund one closed first out of all four in the Conyers area. So.
Right. So Michelle used to always have this whole list of movies that as employees we had to watch kind of thing. And I've watched so much stuff as a result of the stuff that she told me to watch. And so it's kind of like opened my repertoire to watch all these other movies. This was one of those movies that I'm sure she would have recommended. It just never happened. And so when I sat down to actually watch this movie, I did, just a little bit of research. Like, let me read the blurb. What's it about? What's it supposed to happen? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect. This is exactly the kind of movie I love.
No. You want some corn?
The ending. Here's the thing that kills me about this movie. Okay, first of all, let me just give my redeeming quality and get it out the way. John Turturro was fantastic in this movie. The character of John Shooter, I was really thinking I don't know what you did, bro.
You crazy.
But you need to make this right with John Shooter. Because if you don't make this right, you gonna have problems.
I'm like, you stole his story, bro.
Right. Stole the story, the whole nine. And so it's just like as we're following through and we're seeing all these little pieces. And of course, we're movie we're real true movie buffs up in this part. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
So
getting blasted right now by two friends about Johnny Depp. About this thing. I just
See,
want
they going
you to
in
know,
on you.
two different friends are like, "Oh, this movie and that movie and this movie."
Exactly.
Like, shut up.
Tell them
It's
drop
cool.
them in the
Tell them to hop in. They can put it in chat so we can put their comments up and we'll let them know.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not know initially that this was a Stephen King movie.
I did, yeah.
As soon as I found out
it's adapted from a story. It's not a
true.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no,
one of those.
You've heard me go in where it's like if it says based on, adapted from, or written for.
Written for the TV or what? Yeah.
Yeah, like anything like that, I already know it's not going to be the same. But okay, cool. I'm watching the movie, and there's a scene in the movie that completely ruins the entire movie. Because they've been building up all this suspense, and it's like it is getting kind of long in the tooth, and you're really starting to wonder what's going on, and you're like, okay, you kind of see where they're going with it, and you know before you know what it's going to be. They almost make it obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what disappointed me the most, the moment you see Johnny Depp actually talking to himself, whole movie's ruined from there on.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've built up this real bit of suspense. And it's like you kind of know that he's crazy. You kind of know that he's just imagining these things. But the moment he starts talking to himself in the mirror, I was like, okay, he could have just like literally been mumbling to himself and it would have worked out. You had him actually see himself and have a conversation with himself. You've now confirmed that this person is not all together.
But I got a caveat. I got a caveat for you there on saying you watched it post Fight Club.
Even post Fight Club, they still could have done it a different way because they did a really good job up to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still like, let me say this: I watched the movie truly believing John Shooter was a person.
Yep.
Right up until I saw him talk to himself. Because even with the hat, there's a hat that John Shooter wore the entire movie. When I saw the hat on the porch, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, maybe he actually left the hat. Because he has a conversation a little bit later with John Shooter, and he's like, and I want my hat back. And I was like, okay, so he was really there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything's there. When you watch maybe, what is it, like the last 30 minutes of the movie, they go too far into explaining the twist.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a twist if it's part of the movie and part of the explanation. I give you a perfect example. One of my favorite movies, Primal Fear. There is a 5-minute twist.
Mm-hmm.
They give it to you, and then they close out. Done. This movie dragged on and just continued to ruin the movie watching experience.
It did.
They had a great twist. It would have worked because you really didn't know how it was going to go. The moment you see Johnny Depp like put the hat on and no, like don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. I'm watching The Wizard and it's ruining everything.
Yeah.
It's ruining everything.
That's a good point. Usual suspects. At the end. Very end.
Right.
Heist. Right. To make it work, you got to get in and get out.
All you have to do, because
was this before or after Shyamalan? Was his first movie Sixth Sense?
Yeah. This was somebody look up Sixth Sense, and Secret Window came out 2004. So whenever Sixth Sense came out, that was
1999.
So it was after.
So everybody's trying to do like because you know how movie studios are. like, oh, Sixth Sense, that was a big one. We need a twist. And it was like all these movies with like twists coming out. And the only thing M. Night could get done was a twist movie. And it was just like twist after twist after twist where it's like, this is not necessary.
No.
Chevy Checker was running Hollywood.
There is a movie, 2001.
That joke is not demographic.
Go watch Heist.
Okay. All right.
Go watch Heist. Gene Hackman, Danny DeVito, Sam Rockwell, Delroy Lindo.
Sam Rockwell is one of my favorite actors. Because I'm sorry, like Charlie's Angels was trash.
I mean,
but when he did the whole like dance scene and shook his hands and like transformed
the new
into someone else.
Angels?
Charlie's Angels, yes. I have seen it once. But I'm sorry, but when Sam Rockwell did the whole like dance sequence and like shook and like totally like rocked his shoulders and changed his body language and everything, I was like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell, dude, he's great.
If you go watch, and just to give you an example of like good twist movies, and I kind of hate to say that because a twist is coming, so it'll still get you. As we mentioned, Usual Suspects, great twist. Heist, great twist.
Orphan.
Okay.
Orphan had a great twist.
The new one, First Kill. Pretty good twist in there.
I have to check out. I have to check out the new one.
I didn't see it. The movie was still trash though, but.
But you know what? I knew that was the new one. You have some horror films on there, and I was thinking about reaching out to a friend to see if he wanted to watch these bad horror movies with us and hop in, and because I know he's a big horror buff, and if he ain't doing nothing, we'll get him on there. But yeah, like there's so many movies that have a great twist. Identity with John Cusack.
That was
great twist.
That actually still stands the test of time. I watched that about a year ago.
Primal Fear, Edward Norton, Richard Gere. Great twist. There's a way to do the mystery suspense with the twist, and Secret Window didn't know how to do that.
Shutter Island.
I was thinking about that earlier.
Somebody's pointing out The Visit.
I think I'm in the minority of people who does not like Fight Club, but I know that's just like a big one that has a twist in it.
It is,
that's
and
maybe not like.
I like Fight Club because it was different. Like I'm always that like it wasn't anything we had seen before. It didn't follow. That's why I like Fight Club. It's not that it was just this great movie, because it wasn't. Like if you really think about what the movie was about and what was going on, you're like,
Right. It's like one crazy dude just started like a whole like underground like fight ring with dudes just like beating the crap out of each other instead of going to therapy.
See, like, okay, so the thing with
I had someone bring 1999 Fracture. Ooh, that was a good twist.
That's one of my top.
Looper had a good twist, and I mean,
but those movies didn't rely on the like twist as the thing that was gonna like make your whole movie. I mean, even like mystery movies like Knives Out and Murder on the Orient Express, stuff like that, where it's like it's kind of gonna be you gotta figure it out.
But I think that's what makes a good twist movie, is that you don't have to rely on the twist for like it was already a good movie and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
No, I think if you think you have the movie figured out and you don't see the twist at the end, that to me is a good sign. Because if you go back and you have to like start rethinking about previous scenes in the movie, even if you take something like, and here's one of the best twist movies of all time. If you take Chris Nolan's Memento, where they give you that last 10 minutes where they kind of recap everything you've been seeing through the movie to like really show you the twist and show you how you saw it, but you missed it. You can still do it and do it right. And I feel like Secret Window they really thought they shit was golden and that they shit didn't stink, and they was going to give us all of this extra at the end and explain it and break it down. And it's like, bitch, you ruined the entire movie the way you did it.
Because I will say this. Go ahead, Denisha.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say Sixth Sense for me is like that, because to know that to watch it once and know the twist and not know the twist and be surprised, but then to watch it again and know that the color red represented every time someone was dead on screen, like the red balloon, the red doorknob, the red shirt, the red this, like it makes it watchable twice or three times.
Yeah.
If you want to go look up a movie and see and find out stuff like that, then that means it's a good movie, which is why all his other movies sucked ass, because you didn't care. The twist didn't matter. It made the movie stupid. You felt stupid for sitting there watching. That's why I hate his movies, because I feel stupid for watching.
Old was the only one I can think of in recent memory that I actually enjoyed.
No, I like
He'll never get another $1 from me.
I like the Unbreakable trilogy. I don't feel stupid for watching that.
I didn't like the second one. I liked the third one. I liked
Unbreakable was good. Split was fantastic.
Oh, The Mist. Oh my God. That movie messed with my mind.
I agree with that. The Mist movie
awful.
was way better than the series, though.
Yeah.
I tried to watch the Mist series and could not get into it.
Oh, I never.
But there again, that's the point of this movie, and that was what was so disappointing about Secret Window. So if I'm being honest, I'm really shocked that so many people act like it, that it got a 65. I expected this to be way lower because the movie holds you for so long, only to completely let you down at the end.
They thought they had like a Psycho-esque type thing, right? Like you've got this mystery going on, and then it ends up he's talking to himself, and then if you haven't seen it by now, oh damn well, he killed his wife and the corn, and she in the corn, and you're like, I don't really care.
I think it was one of those things where it's like it probably got that high of a score because of when it came out. Like if we're in Twist Mania time in Hollywood, everything has to have some sort of secret meaning or some other meaning because the internet is like getting off the ground and everybody's making their like Easter egg sites and all this other stuff. YouTube is like coming out around this time. It's like it's the kind of movie made for people of that time. Even though we're the same people, we're like very, very different.
It would not survive in today's movie age.
And we've seen so many twists that like it's like being a parent, right? Like your kid trying to get something over and you, it's like I did all that already. Like,
yeah.
Now your kid do some shit you ain't see coming, you get away with it. You gonna punish them, but you'll be like, I'm also like a little bit impressed by this. But like you've seen so many twists at this point where it's like you gotta, like we're actually like looking for it, and we know you're not gonna tell us exactly. Like that's what made like a movie like 500 Days of Summer so interesting, or like Me or The Dying Girl, because you're like, these movies don't have sad endings, but you're telling me in the beginning that it's gonna be a sad ending, and I'm holding out hope beyond hope because I know you like movies don't do this to people, and they did it.
I'm sorry.
Like this is not a love story. Nobody heard that.
As someone who has seen The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, I cannot think of a sadder movie. So like no other movie is sad to me now.
Oh my God.
Like exactly.
But even if it's not sad, you're like watching it and you're kind of like, I know they said they're not going to end up together, but like, come on, dog. Like
Atonement.
Okay.
That was one of those movies, but it was sad with Secret Window because you spent all this time, making John Shooter like menacing. And then it was like, then he was just goofy. You just goofy ass Johnny Depp. I don't care.
Right. I think the movie actually would have served better if, so here's the big issue I have is when we get to the end of the movie, he is not even, what's the, his name is like Marty or Morty.
It's been a minute since I've seen Secret Window.
No, I just watched the shit and I can't remember.
And that's a sign of how great it is.
Right. Mort Rainey. So get this. So Johnny Depp is the character Mort Rainey.
Mort.
As we get through, we find out that maybe he wrote a story under a pseudonym that he didn't remember he did. Because when you get to the end of the movie, you find out that this other character, John Shooter, don't actually exist.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got a person with either like DID or might even just, like if it's not dissociative identity disorder, then it's got to be some schizophrenia taking place. He's seeing things that don't actually exist. But they don't even
just because of a hat. He saw the hat, put the hat on.
Right.
Cool character. Okay.
Like they don't even get into all of that part. Then there's a whole subplot of something that happened 6 months ago that they talk about, but never fucking explain. So I need to know what happened 6 months ago and how it relates to what's happening now. It sounds like it's kind of relevant, but y'all don't want to talk about that. Okay, fine. We'll let that subplot go. But why bring it up as many times as you did if you're not going to like use it to accentuate the story? That pissed me off. The character of John Shooter was such a great character on screen that you needed to just let John Shooter be his own person.
Mm-hmm.
Only to find out that John Shooter is just a figment of his imagination. But then, by the end of the movie, he's not even Mort Rainey or John Shooter. He's this other person.
Mm-hmm.
It would have made way more sense if he had just had these episodes where he was John Shooter and forgot or blacked out or like repressed it or whatever, it goes back to being Mort Rainey. But because he ends up being this third person who has nothing to do with anything in the entire movie, you're sitting here at the end of the movie like, what the hell just happened?
Well, that's why they used that line. It was, I'm sure in time her death will be a mystery.
Even to me.
Because who the hell, whatever.
But as far as like DID episodes and stuff like that, I'm sorry, like it wasn't until I watched Moon Knight that I really felt it got done right.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna say. We've seen so much DID stuff also from then to now.
Identity, there's been a whole bunch of stuff.
In terms of how it's expressed in movies, we just have like a much wider range of like understanding what it looks like and what it could be. And so when it looks bad, it's like, or when it's not interesting, or when you just like using it to be like, that's kind of how I felt about like Fight Club. I'm like, you just using this to just like make some weird twist in the end of your movie. But like, I feel like Brad Pitt's character being just like an actual like reckless dude in this dude's life, and like this man like Edward Norton trying to figure out how to pry himself away. Like, that's actually like a lesson like a lot of dudes need to like learn about how to get away from like your like childish and toxic and like your friends who like don't have your best interests at heart. Mm-hmm. But like now you're telling people that's just all in your head. Do whatever you, and it's like Fight Club. It's like I went to college with the Fight Club like generation. Where, like,
I said what I said, Anthony. I said what I said.
Y'all were making soap.
It was no.
It would be interesting to go the other way though. What if Brad Pitt, his alternate was actually Edward Norton? It never goes the other way.
Right.
That I agree with, Tanisha. I agree with that.
But yeah, like,
let's do a whole series of the Hulk where the Hulk is trying to repress Banner.
That's
as long as we don't talk about She-Hulk, I'm fine. I can talk about the Hulk. Stupid ass show.
I like She-Hulk.
I'm
sorry.
But
I probably like it. I like it for stupid reasons though. So like it's just entertaining, the comedy.
You know what? I almost feel like we have to find out from and I hate to do this and put you on the spot, but I feel like we have to find out from the woman why She-Hulk is actually bad. Like we won't do it right now. I won't do it to you right now. Let's get through. Let me have. Do you have anything that you can say or add to Secret Window? Because I will honestly say this is one of the rare times that I was actually a little pissed off because I got so into this movie, and by the end of it, they fumbled the bag so bad with this movie. I was legitimately upset for having watched it.
Yeah, and then when you see the window too, it's like, what the hell? What Secret Window? What window? That window?
This is what y'all call Secret Window because it's behind a fucking dresser, man.
Only redeeming thing that I have is that he killed them. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because her boyfriend thing, he was being super annoying.
He was. I'm kind of, you know what?
Like, you slept with his wife. Like, calm the hell, like, dude. So I was okay with that.
I was, you know what, like, yeah. I had no problem. Like, I was confused as to why Charles S. Dutton, got to get him more roles, man. His whole Ken Karsh private investigate, like, was he bodyguard, security, private? Like, what the hell was he?
I don't know. There was so many throwaway like, it was so many things not needed in the movie. It was,
and then it's like when he goes to the store at the end, like when the sheriff comes up and says, "We know you killed those people. We just can't prove it yet. But once, I would appreciate it if you don't come back into town." The hell are y'all at, Mayberry? Like, is we just polite with the
he
criminals?
wanted his butter to go eat the corn.
You know, like, man, I was so.
Nobody thought to look under the corn. Not one person.
I was so disappointed. And then it's on top of that, like, I feel like there's got to be enough circumstantial evidence to get this. Like, okay, weren't there 2 other cars at the residence? There would be his Jeep. There would be the ex-wife's car. There would be the boyfriend's car.
Don't try to make it make sense.
Like, oh man, I was so disappointed. I was so mad about that movie.
Jay?
And I really, really wanted it to be good, and it wasn't. And yes. But I'm gonna tell you, John Turturro killed it.
Mm-hmm.
I kept watching because I wanted to know what was
fix
gonna
my ending.
Right.
I've never seen a menacing person like with a country accent that wasn't racist. Like, you know
what I'm saying? It's like, honestly, I was kind of like, "Hey, bro, fix that book. Like, you better fix that book.
You gonna fix my ending."
But it's like the dog, the screwdriver, the other people, like, I was just, man, what is happening here? And I figured it out so early on. It didn't allow me to really truly enjoy the twist. When the twist came, I was just like,
okay. Yeah, one thing about a movie that's a mystery or a twist, if I figure it out too early, I'm mad. That's how I did. I watched Death on the Nile, and I figured it out like with like 35 minutes left, and so now I'm just like,
no, that sucks.
They didn't kill the whole. They killed 2 other people on the boat that knew who it was, and I was just like, well, yeah. At this point, like, I know who it is too.
Right.
Let's just get it over with.
Right. And like I said, there's so many movies that have good twists that for this to have the cast that it had and go the way that it went, it was so disappointing, and I was so upset. So, Secret Window. Why the hell did I watch that?
Well, at least the acting wasn't bad. The script was.
Agreed.
And you know what? As movie lovers, we can often tell the difference.
Yeah.
You can tell when it's bad acting versus a bad story.
Mm-hmm.
See, and the thing is, I'm wondering, like, this will probably be one of those rare times where I go and I dig this story out by Stephen King and I read this because even though I know the twist, I need to know if it's given away as obviously as it is in the movie. Because I've watched Memento 100 times, and I promise you, I still can't pinpoint all of those moments. Even though they show them to you at the end, you can still see how you can't tell that that's how that goes. Because it's just such a well-crafted story. And I feel like that can't possibly be the case here. That I have to be missing something. And, you know, that's what that. So those are our 2 movies. Why did I watch
that? But you don't want to feel dumb.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. I'm okay with watching a movie and having everything in front of me and you still catch me off guard with a twist. And then if you can go back and show me really quickly how I actually missed the twist that you gave me, cool. But don't spend 30 minutes trying to make it seem like I missed it when the shit was obvious after about an hour of the movie. And I done already sat here and figured it out. So I'm waiting to see how you're going to give me the twist, only to, like, just when I tell you, just lay that shit out.
Or not deliver.
No. Okay. It was so obvious it wasn't a twist. It was just the next scene on the paper.
Yeah. I think because they were relying on the part of him killing them to be the whole.
Yeah, shit. Like, no. And see, that's the thing.
That wasn't the draw. I don't give a damn about that. I was scared of John Shooter. I didn't care nothing about his cheating wife and this goofy ass dude. But whatever. You know what I'm saying?
It was just such a disappointment. And so, I mean, I know we look for like bad movies to start. It's kind of our fault, but like, damn.
But I mean,
Jeffrey or Denisha, were you huge Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or game huge like?
Oh yeah, movie gallery, Blockbuster, especially movie gallery when they had the movies like 5 for $25 because I didn't have cable for the longest time. So yeah.
I too grew up without cable. My grandmother also. I too mostly grew up without a VCR. I think I got a VCR in like 8th, 9th grade. So, you know, that was 1999 when I got a VCR.
My grandmother
was on the serious catch up.
Yeah. I think I told this story where I used to tell it like jokingly, and then like people were like, that's kind of sad. Somebody gave me for my birthday one year, I was like 6 or something, Ninja Turtles. It was like my favorite movie, but it's like on VHS. And so I ain't had nothing to watch it on. So I would just look at the VHS cover and like look at the pictures on the back and read the summary. And every time I went to a sleepover, that Ninja Turtles.
I want you guys to know. I felt like a failure of a brother tonight because my brother recognized a song from trivia, not from the artist, but from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. I looked at him and I went, I have failed you, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Jeff, that is awful.
I mean, it's just like,
you know what, Jeff?
I watched that tape a lot though, and it's still in good condition because it ain't getting played as much as it would have.
Oh my God!
I still remember. I mean, I watched E.T. in the theater. That was the first film I ever remember standing in line for at the theater. I watched Troll on VCR. My grandma went and bought a VCR one summer when I was down there, and I watched Troll, and I never went in a laundry room again until I was like 16.
You know the movie that I think I watched the most on VHS? There were 2 movies that I watched on VHS, and I've watched these movies more than any other VHS anything. Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
And Rambo with Sylvester Stallone.
I still have Legend on VHS. I refuse to get rid of it.
I
have no way to play it, no way to watch it. Do what now?
Well, it's so funny because growing up, I didn't know movies came with one movie on the tape because my dad was stationed in Spain. So we would have people record television shows and movies and put them on the tapes for us. So everything was always
6.5 hours.
It was always 3 movies on one tape.
Yep.
So I never knew that.
No, let me tell you.
Trust me, my parents were the same way. I can't tell you how many times I watched a movie on VHS. So I was like, why are there commercials? Why are there 3 movies on this VHS? Oh, my parents are cheap. Okay. We broke. I got it now.
No, I got one better than that. I got
halfway through is my bar mitzvah, and then it switches back to Predator. Okay, I get it. So
I'm at the video store with my dad one time, and we are renting a movie for like the third. We're renting something I wanted to watch for like the 3rd time. And he literally was like, you know, you gonna rent this again? And I was like, yeah, you know, like I want to watch it. And we're standing at the counter, and the person is like going to check to get or whatever. And they come back, they're ringing us up, and I was like, hey, can we just record this one so we don't have to keep checking it out like you did those other movies?
Oh, I'm sorry. The double VHS player, the 2 VHS player was a game changer in my house, boy. Let me tell you.
Finding out that you could just take a piece of clear tape and put it over that one little part and record. Oh man. So even movies that weren't supposed to allow you to record, that had, back in the day, before like bootlegging and all of that and streaming and downloading and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? My thing was, all I wanted to do was own this movie.
Downloading young
right. You wouldn't download a car. Let me tell you something.
I watched 7 movies this weekend and none of them were out yet. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I mean, the internet's a whole thing. Like, I'm just gonna say that.
So,
check your VPN.
I got caught up on so much stuff this weekend. Yeah.
Check your VPNs. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm gonna like, that was one of those situations where I was like, look, we watching this movie every weekend because when my cousin Andre comes out, and this is what we do. We watching Commando, we watching Predator. We done rented this movie like
Jeff
3
at
times.
home just reading the cover.
about them 4
I'm
turtles.
sorry. I was with Sam though. Me and my cousin were sitting there acting out the fight sequences and like, ooh, I'm the Predator this time. I'm coming for you. And like covering ourselves out in the yard, covering ourselves in the mud, and be like, you can't see me. You can't see me. I'm covered in mud.
I did have like one of my cousins who was like a year younger than me. I would go like stay with them at my aunt's house a lot. And see, they would go to like Blockbuster all the time. So like when I went to their house, Pizza Hut pizza, Blockbuster, we rent some games, rent some movies, watch Mighty Ducks, Dunstan Check.
Sounds like a whole weekend right there.
TMNT 1, TMNT, 3 Ninjas 2. Yeah, like stuff got tore up in my bedroom.
Ghost and Jim. Jim is my name.
Mama come in and be like, what happened to the bed? What happened to this? And I'd be like,
press my earring. Like, huh?
That's why I am the way I am.
Yeah. Like
I was so into Jim. Oh my God.
Jim.
Yeah, Jim.
Like Jim and hologram? I thought you were saying J-I-M.
I watched Jim back in the day because I had to babysit my little sister.
Yeah,
so
that's why.
She-Ra,
I watched Jim.
That's why.
Rainbow Bright.
I was about to say, look, I watched Jim because it was part of the weekend, the after school lineup. Like that shit came on deck, so we didn't change.
But that Rainbow Bright movie is still fire. I've seen it with my niece. It's still good.
The Care Bears movies is at fire.
Yeah, Care Bears movies are great.
I've tried to show her. I've tried to show my niece Annabelle those, and she's just nah. We switch over to something else. So I'm like, all right.
I mean, the cartoons,
movies now,
like the cartoons that I remember as a kid, and this isn't even getting into like the old school 80s cartoons and whatnot, because there's a whole thread that's just available about what was out there and what was good versus, but there were actually some fire ass cartoons before we got into like the real action cartoons and the stuff that was like yeah, I'm a guy. That's
okay, we get it, Jamie. Yeah. Okay.
But I remember things like gummy bears.
Yes,
gummy bears
bouncing here and there and everywhere. Yeah.
Am I the only person with shirt tails?
Still shirt tails? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Shirt tails?
And, the snort thing.
Shirt tails. They wore shirts
that
had
snort.
Oh yeah, come along with the snorks.
Now I will say this: Family Guy again has ruined the snorks for me.
Yeah,
because where she bends over and then you're like, okay, I can't watch snorks anymore.
I can never see that the same now.
Right.
Yeah, Chip and Dale and all of that.
Oh yeah, I mean like
old school Looney Tunes.
Yes.
Like the racist ones.
Yeah, that's all. You got to be careful.
I'm sorry.
Even the subtle ones. Al Jolson, get out of here.
But I mean, y'all got to admit that most of the time you heard classical music for the first time was Looney Tunes.
I only recognize some classical songs as a result.
Wagner and some of the other ones that you hear now, you're like, I saw Bugs Bunny.
When they were sneaking up.
Bugs Bunny did that.
Wait. Barber of Seville.
Yeah.
That one.
One of the greatest, where Bugs Bunny is giving Elmer Fudd a haircut. Everybody knows it.
I didn't know that's what it was called, but yes, immediately I recognize the song.
Yes. And
there's literally like 10 to 12 classical songs that I'll hear a remix of
now. So next.
and I hear the classical song, but literally right here above my head, I'm seeing Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, Roadrunner, whatever. Like I'm seeing the cartoon while I'm hearing the song.
Yo, yo, yo. We get to talk about some new stuff here. We about to bring him into the stream. The Hat Man himself. David.
All right. So, but I gotta bug Denisha because I can't take it anymore.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna hit this.
And then I got one more thing too. For Denisha.
All right. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
I was gonna say I volunteered myself to come on. Why did I watch that? To do Barely Lethal.
Wow.
Yes.
With Emilio Estevez?
No.
No, that's not the Steinfeld.
This is a new one. Jeff and I were just talking about this the other day. Haley Steinfeld. That is actually on my watch list, so we will be checking that one out.
Okay. Yeah.
So we may have to do another. We may just randomly pick a day when we're good, and we'll do another. I like doing live shows. I like live shows. We may just like randomly pick a day and put it out there, but we can also have some.
I don't want to watch this.
Nope.
This doesn't even look like it's gonna be good.
It's great. It looks like it's gonna be great.
Oh my god!
I already watched it. Just trust
Denisha, real quick.
Oh yeah, here it comes.
Yep. Do you just want to start? Do you just want to go?
Okay, so a while back, I had made a confession to everyone that I had not seen Star Wars, and there was some computer damage. And I also confessed that I also had not seen Lord of the Rings.
And how many days after that was your car key? You came out with what? Why is there a Death Star that's not
the
in my
pressure
car?
that I felt being in this group and holding that, and I forgot. I think I was drinking too. I was like, I just gotta tell you guys, like, it's surprising not only because I'm a geek and all of that, but I'm a movie lover, right? So that is a surprising part. Even for me, I'm like, why the hell haven't I watched it? So anyway, I decided. And it was partially pushed on me out of love to watch Lord of the Rings. And I hated everything.
I'm not gonna lie, Denisha. Like most of the day in my warehouse while I was working in the heat and stuff, I was literally like, "How can she not like this?" Like in my head all day long, I've been like, "What?"
You see, I just dove in there and told you guys today. Like I just had to kind of.
Just get it off your chest.
You did the right thing.
Just confess it.
Like 2 to 5 though, all day today. I was like, what?
First, it started with me finding it and clicking on it, and I was like 2 hours and 58 minutes. Oh hell no! So I was already in the mood before I even started.
Oh,
even that's pretentious. Like, why not just add 2 more minutes or something and make it 3 hours?
The extended are like 5 hours long.
Because we're gonna say it's 3 hours anyway. I'm like, it's 3 hours.
You know what? It's the same reason shit is priced $199.
It didn't trick me though. Like I still was like, okay,
$19.99. You can say under $20.
No.
So if you say 2 hours and 58 minutes, you can say, hey, it's under 3 hours.
Hey, I'm sorry, but back in the day in the theater, that was just a bladder strengthening exercise.
No.
There you go.
I would not.
And that's what the cup is for when you're empty.
Okay, the only joy that I got out of the movie was realizing some of the references. I was literally Leonardo DiCaprio. Like You Shall Not Pass and the whole thing.
One does not simply.
Sean Bean. Yeah, I was like,
one does not simply.
That was the only level of excitement that I had about any part of the movie.
Any part of the movie?
It was
That's right. Stay strong, my sister.
Denisha, you can't see it, but I have a single salty tear pouring down right now.
And I tried to focus, and then a lot of it too. I was like, okay, what's going on? And I was like, all over this damn ring. Like I didn't care. I didn't care. Y'all know I always say that when I don't laugh. I get to a point I do not care. Like, I don't care. I didn't care. I didn't care. I don't care. I don't want to watch. I do not want to watch the rest of them. Like, I feel like pain thinking about it. I want to try the second one because y'all are all telling me.
Nah, they the same ones who told you to watch the first one.
No,
See where that got
I
you.
didn't say shit.
Stay strong, my
I'm sorry, that second one is way better than the first one. Two Towers is way better.
Look, man, this is what I'm gonna say. Stop making the first movie bad. Okay, same thing for Harry Potter. That's why I seen the first Harry Potter and was like, no thanks. They're like, but they get better. I'm like, okay, but the first one should have been good.
Harry Potter, not like a fan.
Did you see them when they came out?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, see, I didn't.
But I can also never see it again. Like, you know, I mean, and I was disappointed because I love fantasy movies. You know.
So, and this is my only question, and I'm not saying this as a direct challenge, but more out of a genuine curiosity. But what element of the fantasy aspect do you think didn't work for Lord of the Rings compared to other fantasy?
That was my question.
Bored.
What was your major letdown?
That I was bored. I was wanting the next thing to hurry up and happen. It was very, very slow to me. A lot of wasted time. They didn't build up enough for me to really care about the bad guy winning.
Okay.
Right? Like, that's how, like, I didn't care. I was like, oh, okay. Even in the beginning when he got stuck by the sword and the elf lady was saving him. I didn't even remember anybody's name because I don't care. But you know, when she was saving him, I was like, this is pointless. Like, obviously he's not gonna die. It's Frodo. Like, okay, we get it. So now you've tried to waste my energy getting me into something that's not even gonna come to fruition. I don't care. I do not care.
So let me ask you this. Going in, you knew it was a trilogy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And see, I still remember Sam's story about walking out of the theater and having to be told that there are 2 more movies.
No, I knew it. Just like when I committed, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch Star Wars. I knew I was told the order to watch them in. I even watched all the little side shit.
So one of the funny things that happened to me, you may not know this part, but one of the funny things that happened to me is, you know, when we heard about Lord of the Rings, I'm like, oh yeah. The only memories I had of Lord of the Rings were like, this really weird fever dream hybrid cartoon thing that I remember seeing as a kid and an animated version of The Hobbit. Yep. That was all I knew that existed on screen for Lord of the Rings. So when we heard that Lord of the Rings was coming to theaters, it was like, oh yeah, that was a big Christmas movie. And the wife and I went. We went Christmas Day because that used to be our tradition to go to the movies on Christmas. We went Christmas Day to go see Lord of the Rings. And 2 hours and 58 minutes, I walk out of the theater and I'm like, that's it? What? You can't end the movie like that. I was so upset. And of course, there were other people who were in there who were like, oh yeah, no, like there's other movies. There's like another movie that's coming out next year at Christmas and whatnot. And I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Jamie, knowing it was a trilogy, if I didn't know, it would have made me like it less. Like, I'm okay with how it ended because I know there's more movies. I just don't care enough about watching them. I don't care how this ends. I don't care if they save the ring and like, I'm like, oh, I got to see Gollum. That was cool. I got to hear him say precious. Okay, I'll check. I'm out.
Cool.
Star Wars, I actually surprisingly liked. You know, it took me a while to get into it, but even now, you know, like watching the TV shows, I don't care. I don't care about this new Lord of the Rings thing. I don't care. I don't feel like I'm missing the movement enough to catch up. Like Star Wars, I was like, okay, I feel like I am missing out. I need to watch it. I did. I'm like, okay, like it took me a while to even still get into it, but I wanted to get into it. I'm sorry, Jamie.
I mean, and you know what? Honestly, and that's why I said I wanted to make sure that you knew that I, like, because of my enjoyment of Lord of the Rings, of course, like I just have that own, like, God, I really wanted you to like it too.
Mm-hmm.
But I get that you don't.
Where I would have maybe enjoyed it. Like if we all got together and watched it, it might have been a better experience for me. But the person I was watching with was like, no, it's so good. And I'm like, nah, okay, me.
I mean, and even then I'll say like, yeah, I can't sit here and pretend like the movie's going to be any different if we all watch it together versus if you watch it by yourself. It's the same movie.
Yeah,
that part I will admit.
agree.
So I couldn't have really added a whole lot to it. And if you wasn't feeling it, cool. It is what it is.
But because I am a movie lover,
and you made it through the first.
I will at least watch the second one. I will watch the second one.
Now be careful.
That's it though. That's it. That's all.
You know what?
Trying to suck you
all
in.
I ask
I'll
is
leave
that
it
you
there.
watch the extended version, even if it's in the
Hell
background.
no.
No, you don't even have to do that. You don't even have to do that.
This is something we as the geek community got to understand. If it sucked at 2 hours and 58 minutes,
I don't need.
You're not gonna convince me.
It explains so much more.
Like if you can't get it done in that running time,
but see, the scene they cut out explained why they did that.
Well, then they should have put it in the damn movie.
And see, Jeffrey, unfortunately, I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I grew up with the Ralph Bacher sheet, which back in the day, that was like Hanna-Barbera. Like he put out Fire and Ice, they put out Wizards, they did American Pop. American Pop did I tell you about Fire? American Pop is still one of my favorite animated movies.
You know what? I've mentioned Fire and Ice. I know. I didn't talk about Wizards. I did talk about heavy metal.
Yeah,
nobody else.
Yes, you did.
Nobody else.
That's it. Let's not talk about no more.
Okay, nobody else knows about heavy metal.
In my party days, I watched heavy metal under several mental conditions. So, drunk, high, tripping.
I've never really gone into detail about how I just said I liked heavy metal.
That was really enough for me. That's all I needed.
Yeah, just the fact that you liked it, I knew something.
I mean, Jeff, we hung out, so it's
we had our younger days. That's all we can say.
David, are you a Lord of the Rings person?
I'm all right on it. It's not my favorite. It's not something that I would willingly go and sit and watch, but
hey folks, I'll be right back.
Yeah. It's not something I would willingly go and watch again because I don't have enough time in the day to dedicate to that. I got games
Lord of the
to play.
Rings is long-winded. I will admit that.
I got games to play. Plus, fantasy medieval type things aren't really my jam anyway. I'm more of a sci-fi man. So
got it.
Yeah,
dude, you put a sword in somebody's hand, I'm there. 2
but
hours.
See, now what I've liked about
minutes,
fantasy is moved because of Game of Thrones. Now I'm like, people need to be dying.
Right. Put Lord of the Rings in space, and then let's talk. That's what I'm saying.
That I would watch.
That's just me.
Not for 3 hours though. I don't want to watch shit for 3 hours. Let me tell y'all that.
I don't know. I've played through the Mass Effect trilogy several times. I think I could do a Lord of the Rings in space. I think I could do it. I think
that would be an interesting episode to actually draw alliterations between the Lord of the Rings and some sci-fi, because I'm sure there are parallels.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I can definitely see a Lord of the Rings formula working in a space setting.
I'm just interested to see the Rings of Power series that's about to come out because it's set so far before Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But it's based on Tolkien's writings, but they can only use certain time periods because so many of this is owned by this company. So many of this company is owned by this family. And you know what I mean? I am interested to see it.
Right. I don't know if I'm interested to see it. It's interesting enough that I'm going to keep my eye on it, but I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way to watch it. I don't know. There's so much stuff for me to catch up on anyway. I'm currently going through One Piece because I hate myself.
David, that's called age. Trust me, I've got a backlog that's about 7 years long.
Yeah, I got a friend who he just gifted me Soul Hackers 2 on Steam, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then I'm looking at the rest of the stuff in my Steam library, and I'm like, I'll probably get to it in the next 6 months, I hope.
Which in real time translates to about 3 to 6 years.
Yeah, just roughly. But I mean, I think I'm doing all right getting through my backlog.
I'm not even trying to watch One Piece. I looked at how many episodes there were, and I was like, nope. Yeah. Naruto, One Piece. There's certain series that like I want to see, but to actually sit down and watch that many episodes, I'm like, I'll be here for years. I'm gonna retire before I'm done.
So here's the funny thing about One Piece that I'm like coming to realize as I'm getting back into it. Half the episode is just a recap of the previous episode.
Oh yeah, that's so the thing of the 80s and 90s, like Thundercats. He-Man. You name a 80s cartoon, and literally like Transformers.
That was half of the episode we had recaps on cartoons.
She-Ra, whatever. Like half of the episode is them transforming. Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
So
Power
literally of a 22-minute episode, only about 6 minutes is actually story. The rest is them transforming.
Power Rangers took fucking forever.
Oh my god, Power Rangers.
And it was just the same shots over and over. It was just like, all right, we just like literally the actors are only filming the part when they don't have the costume on. That's why the footage is all like grainy when they in their costumes. I'm like, dang, you can like alter the resolution on the Japanese files and nothing.
But Jeffrey, I'm sorry, you got to admit, when you were watching it as a younger person, you didn't care. Only now that we have those eyes that we see it, and we're like, wow, like only 6 minutes of this episode actually had Supernatural.
Well, no, because when I was a kid,
got 15 seasons. I can honestly say only about 6 seasons advanced the episode. Or the
when I was a kid, I used to just be like, how come they keep changing the types of Power Rangers? And then I learned it's because all the Power Rangers costume footage is just from the Super Sentai shows. And so once they run out of footage of them fighting in those costumes, it's got to be Alien Rangers and Zeo crystals. And
on to the next one. Jungle Fury, let's go.
Right, Dino
What
Force.
surprises me is that literally you learn that some of the shows we grew up loving were actually Japanese shows that they literally just changed the dialogue on.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
They make the whole story in the Japanese episode was completely different, or did not have anything to do with what you saw on American TV.
The Japanese,
you go back and try to look it up on YouTube or watch it or whatever, and you're like, what is going on? Like, who's this person? Like, I don't know what's happening.
Right.
The Japanese Yellow Ranger is a dude. That's why the Yellow Ranger don't have a skirt, but the Pink Ranger does.
I'm sorry. I was all about the Pink Ranger back in the day. Sorry.
Nah, my boo Aisha was all about it.
Yeah, Supernatural. Funny enough, I just started watching that because that's one of those shows that I missed. And I'm like, I feel like I missed the movement. It's right up my alley. And you're right. Like, it was so good. And then all of a sudden when they got into, Dean dying and then coming back and then the angel, and then now it's all about God and the devil. And I'm just like.
All right. Now, Denise, I got to say this. As someone who's watched all of Supernatural, he only planned for it the last 5 seasons. So you watched.
And I can trust that.
The first season, like 1, 2, and 3, were all Monster of the Week episodes. Yeah. Like, oh, it's a vampire, werewolf, this, that. And then, like, it gets into, like, God and death and the rings and all. And then it gets a little crappy. But then they actually realize, oh, crap, this is going to last a lot more seasons. It actually got really good.
Yeah, it's okay enough that I'm going to continue to watch it, though. But I did see a shift, and I'm like, because now I think I'm on, like, season 6 or 7. Like, I'm
right. And see, that's where it's a little weak, but the chemistry between the actors,
it's very good. It's very
kept me going, and I finished. That's one of the few series I can say that I actually finished.
See, that's why I like British shows, because they just be like 8 episodes. We in, we out. Like, we getting it done. We killing people. We killing your favorite characters. Everybody not gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll continue this story. Maybe we won't. But you're going to get like maybe 3-4 seasons. Like, the only British show that has like crazy seasons is Doctor Who. And that's because it's basically like a different show, because they
like,
just
changed
the
Who? Okay, cool.
I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. I actually watched some of the black and white episodes.
Yeah, you better than me. I started in the reboot.
I remember watching it growing up with my grandma, literally like the Scarf Doctor Who. I think he was the 4th or 5th Doctor.
Right.
And then to find out that David Tennant or one of the other later doctors is actually dating his niece and all this. Like, I was a huge Doctor Who fan. I love Matt Smith. I love David Tennant. I can't say I'm a huge fan of the female Doctor. I am looking forward to seeing a Black Doctor / they have talked about him possibly being gay or transgender, that kind of cool. Take it in a new direction. It's been on the show. I mean, Doctor Who has been around on TV or in comic book fashion for 50 years. You have to do something new at that point.
Yeah.
So I can't think of another show that has been around as long as Doctor Who, in either comic book fashion or TV fashion.
Oh, somebody's got a specific question for David. David.
Okay.
What is your favorite go-to show?
Ooh.
Anime.
See,
when you're playing a game.
That's a loaded question because there's different categories here.
But when you're playing a game on your game system, whether it be PC or PS4 or Xbox or whatever,
right?
What's on in the background on your TV?
Again, that's a loaded question. You got
it's Family Guy for me. So I mean, it's not a loaded question for me
because you have to because with me it really kind of just depends on because I have a seasonal schedule. Like there's certain shows that I'll watch during certain seasons, like last season, which my seasons go for 2 months, I guess. So in a 2 month span, I'll binge a show that I've watched before. So right now it's Avatar, The Last Airbender. Last month because now this is the start of the new season for me. Last month was Yu Yu Hakusho. So and then before that it was Luther. So you got
Luther.
It
really just depends on what season I'm in and what I'm feeling at the time,
okay.
Yeah.
I thought about you, David.
Follow-up question /B. What's a show that you watch repeatedly from year to year, even though it's season to season?
What's the show that I watch?
What's something you watched last year or the year before? For me, it's Family Guy, anything Seth MacFarlane animated. Family Guy, American Dad,
Psych or The Office.
I will. The Office, yes. I will put those
Psych
on.
or The Office.
I will be playing something on my laptop while those are on in the background. And I might shift from season to season, but I can honestly say I've watched Family Guy year to year to year to year.
Yeah.
Mine is Jamie Foxx show.
Jamie Foxx,
Fresh Prince, Martin.
I'm weird because it is Family Guy or Rick and Morty or
Key and Peele,
old school Tosh Plano. I started watching Drawn Together again, and I'm just
I love that.
Drawn Together was so bad back in the day.
Or it's murder shows or it's just literally shows about people getting killed.
That was that
But I was proud, and I was gonna tell David because I was on Crunchyroll. Looking at videos, trying to familiarize myself. See, I'm trying to,
What stood out to you?
What you got?
I was watching.
Talk to me.
Spy something.
She was watching Spy Family. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. I didn't even tell her to do it too. Oh, let's go.
Wow.
Well, because
I have never heard of this,
Crunchyroll,
but I will watch it now based on the three of y'all's.
Yo, hey, look, Spy Family is one of the best anime to come out in the last 5 years.
I like it because I don't
amazing.
feel like I'm watching anime. I mean, it's just, it's not a thing. I was like, oh, it's just good, But,
So Sam, you remember Tracy, right?
You see the baby?
We did a Tekken tournament at Microplay. And the whole reason I became friends with him is I said something about Bionic 6. And he literally was like, Bionic 6, ooh, ooh, ooh. It started seeing things. We instantly became friends right then. Because I remember I would wake up, watch Bionic 6, go back to bed, wake up and watch He-Man, and then go to school.
Yeah.
And the fact that he knew the theme song, we went over to the little Mexican restaurant that was right there by the microplay down the, like it was
in the Kroger Plaza. Yeah.
We went over there and literally like we were cemented friends from that day forward. And it was all off of Bionic 6. So I totally get that.
Bionic 6 is that jam.
So I would still watch. I mean, if they came back out with it, or Mask, or even what was the one? What was the one? This is how much animation I've watched.
Yeah, that's right.
Exosuit. They had the exosuits where you could buy the figures and like plug different things into them.
Not Mask.
It wasn't Mask.
Something knots.
Exonauts.
Micronauts.
Mask was about the cars.
Right. Oh,
Micronauts.
It might have been Micronauts.
No, I don't think it was Micronauts. That doesn't sound right.
But
there was Exo Squad, something like that.
Exo Squad is
Silverhawks was a Thundercats derivative. It had all the same actors.
But definitely Micronauts was definitely like a thing.
But it's one of those back in the day when someone knew about some of those lesser known animation.
Exo Squad is the one you're thinking of because they do have like everybody has on like a Ripley mech suit.
And you could like plug and play different things into. Okay, yeah. Anytime back in the day, I would be at high school and this was pre-YouTube, pre-internet, like that kind of thing. Anytime anybody, I could mention that and they would be like, "Oh, I've got so and so, or I've got this," or hell, even Garbage Pail Kids cards back in the day. Like they had certain ones.
How old are you again, Jeff?
I'm like 75 when it comes to animation, and I'm forever 15 in my head. But when I bring up stuff like this, and people at my jobs are like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, let me get my walker out." Like, right, like that gray hair we talk about just beep, so just pops right out. So. I'm sure Denisha, I'm sorry, but when you mention Jim to certain people, they're like, "What?"
Squad.
Oh yeah, no, I know I'm old. It's fine.
Exo Squad was fire. It's actually a good cartoon too. It's like very serious. It was like back when they had like really serious cartoons for kids because it's about like
and
basically humans create.
You know what the new Exo Squad is for kids nowadays is Octonauts.
No.
I'm sorry, I can sit down and watch Octonauts with my niece or nephew and be riveted. Riveted.
Exo Squad was about like human beings created like basically another type of human and enslaved them on like another planet, and then they basically revolted and took over humanity, and basically it's about trying to broker peace between like these warring factions. It's basically
I've seen so much stuff back in the day, like Dino Crisis and
there's so many.
Yeah.
That only lasted like a season or two, but they live forever in our childhood memories.
That's because they were all designed to sell toys, and
I bought most of them.
The budgets for the cartoons go out the window.
So,
well, I'm gonna get off because I have to get up and go to work, and I'm old.
Yeah, Denisha, I feel you. I love how your half hour lasted 2.5 hours.
Well,
thank you so much. Thank you so much for your 30 minutes.
It actually helped that Sam started so late.
Thank you so much for your attendance.
No, so of course I missed you guys. I'm always glad to see you. So,
and look, we even got 2 episodes of Why Did I Watch That?
Yeah.
So
I'll watch Barely Lethal. Thank you, Jeff.
You'll love it.
All right, we'll check out Barely Lethal and we'll schedule for that, and we'll get that one recorded. I think I got the weekend off. Maybe we can get something done for the holiday.
I can't wait. Like once I get off Friday night, I'm off until Tuesday. That's unheard of.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have an early out on Friday too, so maybe
I mean, it's all day drinking and catching up on shows. I cannot wait.
Sounds great.
So,
all right, bye, you guys.
See you later, darling.
Bye,
David. Appreciate you jumping in, man. What's going on?
Man, I just got back home, bro. So I really just got back home like an hour ago.
Oh wow!
I hopped in the shower and I had to help move a mattress. Now, I don't know how that happened, but that was a thing. But yeah, I just got back home not too long ago, and I'm chilling, man. I'm good.
Cool. So we were talking earlier, and you've got something here you were going to tell us all about Dragon Ball Z Superhero.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Superhero. That is a movie that actually happened.
Is that the new movie that just came out that I'm aware of but have not watched?
Yes.
Okay.
And
not that I care. You can't spoil anything for me. Like I stopped watching Dragon Ball Z in Dragon Ball.
Oh wow. Okay.
He still had a tail.
Wow. Well,
yeah,
sir, you have missed a lot.
I mean,
a lot has happened.
I was older when it came out. I tried to go back and rewatch it. So please spoil away.
Okay.
A lot has happened.
So I don't want to spoil too much. That's the thing, because it's still fairly fresh. I'm gonna navigate. Okay, that'll work too. that works. That works.
We pop it up.
It's what, like 2 or 3 weeks old for the new movie?
It's like 2 or 3 weeks old. Yeah.
Okay.
So so this is your spoiler warning. I am going to talk about Dragon Ball Superhero, the movie that just came out.
Did he go super double Super Saiyan and turn like black and green with yellow hair and then do some planet crushing move?
Oh, we're gonna get into it, but I just want to give people a chance to
making Goku.
I want to give people a chance to run away now.
You've seen it
because I'm going to talk some shit. I want to talk some shit about some Dragon Ball Superhero. This is your spoiler warning. If you do not want to be spoiled on this movie, please leave. Come back later.
This release August 19th. You good?
Yeah. Just I to be fair, like I took 2 weeks to not watch this movie, and I did my best to block everything on Twitter and all social media, so I didn't see anything. So again, spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the movie and you do not want to be spoiled, get your ass out right now.
All right.
Okay.
Fair warning.
All right.
Let's get into it.
Spoiler is going to be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So let's go ahead and hop into the big thing about this. This is not a Goku and Vegeta story. If you were expecting Goku and Vegeta, nah.
Oh,
this is a Gohan and Piccolo movie. Let's go.
Okay. Father and son story. I like it already.
Let's go. All right.
It's disrespectful.
So, before I even really get into the story, I just kind of want to like touch on a couple things that really stuck out to me, because there was a lot of callbacks in this movie, and there was a lot of confirmation of things in this movie. So,
Piccolo is actually Gohan's dad.
No. So, right off the bat, this is pretty much just like, again, spoiler warning. I'll make sure my wife isn't here because she wants to watch the movie as well. Just make sure she's not around.
No, that's probably safer than anybody online, because
right.
And I'm also gonna just kind of like talk a little bit lower now because I'm getting a little too excited and I don't want to hear in the other room. First thing that I wanted to, they pointed out something. They kind of just almost hand waved it away, but like I caught it and they sped by it real quick. So you know how shit, yeah. So,
I love this.
Some
watching
big spoilers
right now.
Okay,
because like I have literally seen most married couples do this, where they're like,
"Yeah,
can she hear me?"
Like I said, I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil it too much because
this is the key.
Wife hasn't seen it yet, and she just walked back in the room. So I'm not gonna. There's gonna be a lot that I was going to talk about. That I'm not going to talk about.
Okay.
But there are a couple things that I can point at that I could talk about that aren't like super story relevant.
Okay.
So let's. So we're gonna get to that. One, Dr. Gero. It has been confirmed like a while ago, right, that Dr. Gero's son is Android 16, correct?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. I'm familiar with
that.
So
they have confirmed in this movie, and if you're familiar with Dragon Ball Fighters, the character Android 21 is canon in this movie. Canon in the Dragon Ball universe, and she is the mother of Android 16.
But her number's higher. I don't get it.
Look. Don't worry about the numbers. This
Trying
is
to make it make sense. Don't do that.
Don't try to make it make sense.
Time travel.
Stop trying to make it make
it's
sense.
Dragon Ball. He had a tail. Then
This is before she
didn't.
was turned into an android. Don't try to make it make sense. All right.
They transferred the living consciousness into the android body.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I get android and cybernetics and cyborgs and all that, but Dragon Ball, nah.
Yeah. And then so that was a real big thing that they kind of pointed out. Second thing,
Okay, wow.
Piccolo still has not passed his driver's test.
He was taking the driver's test with Goku
He still didn't pass it.
back in Z.
Yeah, that was a callback. He never passed his driving test, and it's because of what happened in the Cell Saga
That
or the Android
parallel
Saga,
park is a bitch,
whatever.
bro.
Yeah,
I mean, but
Parallel
when you
park
can
is-
fly, doesn't
Yeah.
really matter.
no.
and he also and if you also wanted to know, Piccolo does have a cell phone. So yes, he is of the technology age.
Okay, he's with
Yeah. Also, this movie really likes Bulma's butt for some reason. I don't know. I'm not complaining, but they really
doesn't?
like her ass. They really like it.
You've
think
now
the only
redeemed the
person-
movie for me, sir.
I think the only person with a better ass than Bulma has to be 18.
I don't know what the fascination was with that, but yeah,
They've been
yeah.
on Bulma's ass since Dragon Ball, though.
And honestly, it's
That I remember.
nice. It was nice. It was
Goku had a tail. She had a nice derriere. So.
but yeah,
She had a
like,
tail, too.
but like I was saying, this is definitely not a Goku and Vegeta movie because I mean you've seen the trailers and stuff. But yeah, like there is very, very little to do with Goku and Vegeta. Matter of fact, they are gone for like 90% of the movie. They are not there. We're not worrying about Goku and Vegeta. Goku's not going to pull some kind of win out of his ass and save the day. It's no. Yeah, so there's that. What else can I say that's not really like super spoilery, but it's something I can kind of say.
So who are these? Okay, so just from the trailer,
Right.
even the trailer kind of gives away that Red Ribbon Army is back.
Okay, all right, cool. Because I didn't watch a lot of the trailers, so I was trying to see what can I talk about here. Yes, the Red Ribbon Army is back. And it's more so they're trying to collect. They've been in hiding for a while now, and they've just been in the background, just kind of raising funds through their front company to get the army back up and running. Of course, Commander Red is dead because Goku made sure of that. But his son Magenta is in charge now, so. That's the whole thing. So it becomes the thing. Actually, I can go ahead and say this because this kind of leads into it, but I'm not going to say too much after that because that's pretty much the whole story. Magenta finds Dr. Giro's grandson, and he has him.
Shit, we on grandkids by now?
Yes.
I'm so far behind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go. There's trailers there. Yeah. There's trailers here. Yes. Yeah, that is Magenta right there.
Shit, that just makes me feel old.
So
It's
who are
like
one or
Dragon
two
Ball.
right here?
These are new androids.
Okay.
These are new androids. That is Gamma 1 and 2. I'm not going to
Of
say
course,
much
their
more.
numbers would be lower than 16 and 21 because
They're new kind of androids, but I'm not going to say too much about them because again, super spoiler stuff here.
Oh, my man threw off the glasses.
He just threw out the glasses. Also, okay, so there is another thing that I can confirm. Gohan actually has really bad eyesight. He does need the glasses, and Super Saiyan transformations fix that, but only while you are Super Saiyan.
Okay, go to a perfect being. I can see that.
Yeah,
Have a whole Spider-Man moment.
So before, like you remember in the Buu saga where Goku threw Gohan the Potara earring, but Gohan fumbled the catch.
Yeah.
It is because Gohan has really bad eyesight. That is confirmed.
How about that?
Yes. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to find little things that I can actually pull from this without
you're
spoiling
good, David,
the movie.
because of someone with bad
so we
eyesight.
have-
This is giving me hope that I might one day achieve super saiyan. So
you can do anything that your mind allows you to do.
I
So
mean,
I see some laser
the perfect
guns here.
eyesight
That's
is one
big.
thing, but it's the long flowing golden mane that I'm actually looking forward to.
What did I just see?
Well, see, the thing about that is, if you go Super Saiyan, it probably won't be the top of your head that goes gold. It'll probably be your beard and your mustache.
Hey.
I've got hair in other places, sir. It will all be gold.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny.
So we got a fat Gotenks right here.
Yep. Gotenks is there. I'm not going to say anything else about that.
Okay.
And go back to the Goku and Vegeta fight right there. Yeah, that.
All right.
Yeah. Don't get used to that.
They still fighting?
Honestly, that's probably like 50% of all of the screen time that Goku and Vegeta have.
I know. I'm sure they're training. I'm sure they're training. That's all that is.
Oh yeah, no, they're training. They're very much training.
Let's see. I just saw some Boba.
All right,
there it is.
There you go. Yep.
There we go. We got a little Boba in there.
Got a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Look at.
And
look
she's still bending over.
Wow,
like booty.
Boba got a hangover.
Look at that.
Boba got a hangover. You know what? I'm still proud of Vegeta for that. That's my man.
Look at that. I told you they really like her ass. They really do.
They went in. Give us like a summary regarding like a summary of the story. Not necessarily the plot or how it plays out, but like what is the basic principle?
And as someone who
Army is back.
I at least need a 1 to 10 scale, so I know whether or not I need to actually eventually catch up.
All right, so
bro, I'll catch up on Dragon Ball before I catch up on One Piece. I'll say that much.
You have a shot with that.
That's fair. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, just not giving too much away, Red Ribbon Army is back. The grandson of Dr. Gero is back and has created 2 new androids to pretty much help the Red Ribbon Army gain control of the world, like they were trying to do earlier. The only problem is,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the only problem is that Goku, Vegeta, and the other Z Fighters exist. So they need to stop that. And that pretty much the story goes from there. They try to single out a couple of people and try to get them out of the way. Also, Pan is there. Pan is involved. I'm not going to say to what extent, but she is involved. You can see in the trailer there. But like I said earlier, this is very much a Gohan and Piccolo centric movie. They do get their shine. They get a lot of shine in this. There's a lot. I want to talk about it so bad, but I want to give it like another week before I really go like rip into it. But I honestly, like, if I had to give it a score, probably like a good 8. It's a good 8, okay. 8 out of 10. And this is coming from somebody who has been very much like disillusioned on Dragon Ball as of late, because I've been reading the manga and the manga's been kind of shit. It's been kind of shit up until the end of this last arc. Oh my god, because we could talk about that one. We could talk about that.
I'm a sometimes fan. I know Majin Buu. I watched the Cooler fights. My brother was into Dragon Ball GT, and all that stuff when I was young. I watched enough.
Jeff, you want me to blow your mind real quick? Well, both Jeffs, actually. You want me to blow your mind real quick? Check this out. Check this out. But also, let me go ahead and wrap up that Dragon Ball Super. If you are a big fan of Gohan or Piccolo, you're going to be really happy with this movie. If you are an old school Dragon Ball fan who didn't like how they did Gohan dirty, you are really, really going to like this movie. If you are a Goku and Vegeta fan, you might like this movie. If you are strictly a Vegeta fan, you're not going to like this movie until the end. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
But let me me go ahead and blow Jeff's mind real quick. So you remember Frieza, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Frieza done came back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the memes.
Yeah.
All the memes.
Oh yeah. No, we'll get to that. I'm talking about I'm building up to that. So Frieza came back because Goku needed another body to do this intergalactic tournament for the fate of the universes, right? He was originally going to get Majin Buu, but Majin Buu didn't want to because he fell asleep. That is a legit reason why Majin Buu fell asleep, so he could not be fucked to care. So Vegeta, he went to go get Frieza from the afterlife. Frieza only agreed if Goku agreed to revive him, right? Goku, like, yeah, sure, whatever. That's Frieza's lightweight. If he gets out of pocket, I'll handle that, right? So Tournament of Power happens. Goku and Frieza have this big epic moment where they sacrifice themselves to save the universe. Also, Android 17's there. He's technically the winner. But that's something you can get into later if you so desire. So yeah.
All that happens in the Dragon Ball Super, right?
Yes, yeah.
That was Tournament of Power, that whole arc.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So Tournament of Power is over. None of the universes get erased because that's just how things go, because Goku just wants to fight strong dudes, whatever. And Frieza's end of the bargain has been held up, so they had to revive him. And Vegeta literally looks at Goku and then looks at the audience and is like, he's coming back, right? He's gonna be an issue, right? And Goku's like, nah, it'll be fine. It'll be cool. Oh, by the way, yeah, Frieza has a transformation called Golden Frieza, and it's pretty much like on par with like the new stuff that Super Saiyans get, which is Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue, whatever you want to call it, right? So yeah, Goku's like, yeah, it's fine. We can handle Frieza if he comes back, because there's no way that Frieza can beat us, right?
And the time that they say that in anything, does that actually make a difference?
No.
Famous last words.
The reason why Frieza got that golden form, right? Did you know that Frieza, before getting that form, never trained a day in his life? He was that strong.
So he's One Punch Man.
That was his base level.
That was his base level. And then he trained for 4 months and got Golden Frieza and was on par with Goku and Vegeta.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. So fast forward to the I forgot what the name of this arc is, like the gas arc, right? Whatever. So Goku and Vegeta have been fighting these guys, the heater arc. There it is. Yeah, okay. They've been fighting the heaters. The leader is Gas. Gas is pretty much this guy who's been just fucking him up this whole arc. Like, Goku and Vegeta cannot keep this man down, and it's gotten to the point where like Gas is just like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm going to kill myself with my power, but I'm going to kill you guys before I die, right? So at this point, like, Gas is just like losing weight, and like he's still strong as shit, but he's like losing space, like skin's falling off, all that good shit, right? Frieza just shows up, right? Frieza just shows up, and he looks at Goku and Vegeta in their new forms, because Goku has mastered this new thing called Ultra Instinct, so he's like the shit now, right? And then Vegeta has a new form because, of course, Vegeta got to get a new form because Goku has a new form, and he can't get too far ahead of me because I'm the Prince of Saiyans, whatever, right? And that's called Ultra Ego, and it's cool as shit, right? There, that guy, yes. So yeah, so he's looking like yeah. So Frieza's looking at those two guys with their new forms, and he's like, it's time to be racist. So he proceeds to call them monkeys, and then he looks at Gas, and he's like, oh, Gas, my old lightweight. Let me come over here and just beat that ass real quick, right? So he proceeds to go beat that ass effortlessly. The same dude that has been running Goku and Vegeta's pockets for like, what, 30 chapters? Frieza just comes and just like, yeah, that's whatever, cool, right? And then he gets a new form. He gets a new form. He just powers up, and now he's Black Frieza. Look at just I was like, huh?
Jeffrey, like literally, like all you've seen is the top of his hat, like for the last 10 minutes. And you say Black Frieza, and literally he was like, hmm?
Exactly. So,
man, brother,
do you know how?
Hey,
and do you know how Frieza got the black form? This man found another hyperbolic time chamber and trained for 10 years just so he could run Goku and Vegeta's pockets. And you know what he did after he just got finished killing gas effortlessly? Mind you, he turns over to Goku and Vegeta in their new forms, right? One-shots them.
What?
Okay.
One-shots them. That guy.
I am intrigued. I will admit that
Frieza speed blitzes them and one-shots them. Both get a punch in the stomach, knocks them out of their new forms.
Wow.
And says, hey, guys, I'm back. You're mad. Big mad. And then he fucks off.
So he knocks out Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego
in one punch.
Ooh.
And he said, come find me.
I might have to watch this. I might have to like eventually catch up on these because I can get them.
And then
when you're ready, I'll be here.
And as soon as that happened, the hashtag Vegeta was right with trending on Twitter.
Oh, they have to do him like that though.
Because really,
I mean, I don't even really watch Dragon Ball like that, and I know Goku is not the person you listen to in that situation.
Goku,
he's not a decision maker.
Boy, everybody called this shit, and you're just like, nah, it's fine. We can handle Frieza. No, you can't, because you let a madman run wild, and you let him realize that there is a place that he can go train for 10 days and it equals 10 years. And he found one. And now you got to hold that. So yeah, my interest in Dragon Ball has been piqued again because this is amazing. This is amazing to me because Goku been getting away with too much shit. And then
Frieza's always been he's always been a unique character in that, like, first of all, it blows my mind to hear you say that Frieza has never trained. Like, he just showed up and before
the events of Resurrection F, right. Frieza had not trained a day in his fucking life and was that strong.
Because he was actually going toe-to-toe with Super Saiyan the first time around. Yes. And he had just hit his final form.
Yes.
And even then, it wasn't Goku that took him out. He took himself out.
Yep.
Because it was his Destructo Disc that he created that severed him. Even that didn't kill him, but he was on his last leg at that point. Goku, dumbass, decided to give him a little bit of energy so he could, continue on and get off the planet.
Yep. And like I admire Goku's like attitude towards people, like, not don't punch down on people, right? I admire that. But sometimes a motherfucker gotta go. Sometimes you just gotta take him out. And that's what Trunks did. Took him out, clean out, right? Wow. Done. Right?
Oh yeah, because he hit him with like the 4 pieces of the sword and then
obliterated him.
And just like a quick open palm.
Yeah.
Wave. Gone.
And then killed his dad.
Yeah.
And then killed his dad in the same breath.
See, that was Cooler's revenge. I was about to say, but no, because he comes back and he's got the robotic body and stuff. But no, that was Cooler's revenge.
No.
And that was Goku and Vegeta
Yep.
And they had all the little. But that was back when animated music videos was a big thing. And
Oh, also, sorry, I forgot one thing in there. Broly is in the superhero movie. Broly's there. Yeah.
Okay, see, like I'm recognized Majin Buu, Frieza, Broly.
Yeah.
I babysat my little brother enough that he was in his group of friends would be over at the house and they would all be watching this, and I'd be in the background on my new internet computer downloading on LiveWire for 39 hours for one song. And I would look up occasionally and see some of these fights and be like, oh, that's kind of cool. So as I sort my magic cards,
LimeWire is the entire reason that GT is canon to me. For everybody who says GT don't count, as much time, effort, and energy I put into collecting GT episodes, it counts.
But yeah, no. Oh, this is not the Broly you know, man. This is a completely different Broly. Oh my goodness.
Now, is this Broly after his second movie? Because you have Broly, you have Bio Broly, and he came back for a third, right?
And see, I'm not even familiar with Bio Broly. I'm familiar with Dragon Ball GT, Super Saiyan mode. That's it.
No. So
that's how old, like out of it I am.
Yeah. So the movie, like those 3 movies that you're talking about, that's the old Broly. That's the dumb Broly.
Gotcha.
We don't like that Broly. That Broly dumb. We like Super Broly, where he got like an actual backstory, and he was also beating Frieza's ass for like an hour. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Jeff. In Dragon Ball Super Broly, in that movie, it's a new take on Broly. He's not purely fueled by like, oh, Goku was crying in the pod next to me, so now
that was the craziest thing.
No, he has like a whole backstory now. It's actually well written.
Okay.
But Frieza killed Broly's dad in the new movie. And that caused Broly to actually go berserk. And then that plan backfired on him because Broly was berserking on Goku and Vegeta, and they needed to teleport away so they could do the fusion dance. But before they did that, they flew past Frieza so Broly could just kind of like redirect towards Frieza. And while they were doing the fusion dance and they were messing it up, because you mess it up, you got to wait a half hour and then try it again. They messed up twice.
Ooh.
Broly was beating Frieza's ass for an hour straight. Like this man was hitting him with all kind of combos. Like
is this Frieza Black that he's fighting?
No, this is Frieza. Like this is Frieza.
This is Golden Frieza.
Yeah, this is Golden Frieza. Like he was beating Frieza's ass. He did he did a kickflip on Frieza while he was beating his ass. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
Like if you beat somebody's ass and you have time to fucking flip and kick them in the chin and then continue your combo, pack it up. You're done. That's it. Pack it up.
I mean, that's a whole Tekken combo right there.
That's a whole Tekken combo.
You know what? On Pack It Up, You're Done. I'm gonna go ahead and head out because it's late and I gotta be at work at 7.
Word.
Y'all have a good night. But you have re-inspired me to find Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT and start watching them again.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
Because I want to see some of these beatdowns and at least understand what I'm seeing.
Go find that man. Go find that man right there.
Now, for that man, you can't find. He's not animated yet. That is manga right now.
I'll find him.
Yeah, you'll find him. That's in the manga, but it's trust me, it's wild. It's wild.
Y'all have a good night.
Take it easy.
All right. Peace.
But yeah, yeah, man. Like fucking Dragon Ball's been weird for me for a while, but now I'm back in. I'm back in now. Like the whole the Goku Black arc was kind of ass to me. The shit, I don't even remember what the fuck it was before the Heater arc. God damn. Oh, the Moro arc. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
talking about Moro.
My god, I hated the Moro arc so much.
Was the Moro arc where Granola came in?
No, Granola was in the Heaters arc.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they introduced Granola at the end of the Moro arc. They're just like, yeah, this is the new guy.
So, and here's a question I just have about Granola, because if Granola is canon part of the standard universe, see, like I understand where we get Khalifa and
Mhm.
what's the other girl?
Kale.
Khalifa and Kale. I get where they come from because that's a whole like separate universe kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's essentially a multiverse facet. So having other Saiyans pop up during that period, okay, that makes sense. I can rock with that.
Right.
But Granola is canon in the current universe. Was he one of those Saiyans that was put in the pod and shipped out? And
well, see, here's the thing about Granola. He's not a Saiyan. Granola is not a Saiyan. He is a Cerulean. He's a Cerulean. And you don't hear about the Ceruleans because the Ceruleans were killed by the Saiyan army.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was my misconception because I thought the way they were presenting Granola was like Granola was also a Saiyan. Because it seems like every time we turn around, even though all the Saiyans have been killed out, every time we turn around, it's more Saiyans popping up.
Yeah. No, but, yeah.
Okay.
Granola is not a Saiyan. That's why he has so much beef with Vegeta right now, because Saiyans killed his people.
Okay.
But
that actually explains a lot for me because I was completely lost on that one.
They're actually kind of cool now after all the heater bullshit. But yeah, that was a whole weird thing. Yeah. Granola conceptually is cool though. I actually like Granola as a character. I just,
I'd be very interested in seeing how they present, like the fact that Vegeta got his new form right after Goku got his new form, and I'm guessing that we're going to see like Piccolo technically had his last form upgrade sometime back. That was after he fused with Nail and Kami and had his little upgrade. He hasn't had much in terms of upgrades since that time. Based on what I'm hearing, and I can't say from what I've heard or what I've seen, but Gohan due for an upgrade because he was it was all supposed to come down through him.
Yeah.
And it was like he had the potential to unlock and be even higher because he maxed out at Super Saiyan 2 and he had his potential unlocked.
No. So he did not max out at Super Saiyan 2 because he actually surpassed the need for Super Saiyan. So because like Super Saiyan inherently is a form built on rage, right?
Right.
Considering that Gohan has had his potential unlocked, he does not need to rely on rage. It is one of his biggest fueling factors when he fights, but it's not something that he needs to rely on. He does have he has the potential that he can tap into outside of Super Saiyan, which is Mystic Gohan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But see, Mystic Gohan is like potential realized where the Kai unlocked his potential.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, but even then, he been stuck there for a minute. And granted, it's been enough. So we're not clowning it. But it still seems like Mystic Gohan probably couldn't hang with Super Saiyan guy Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
If it came down to it.
Honestly, Mystic Gohan probably could actually. Because think about it now.
Ultra Instinct as being the most evolved form that Goku has.
Yes. So So you when you think about it like that, they're Ultra Instinct and the Mystic transformation is kind of on the same tier of like the kind of transformation where it doesn't rely solely on the Super Saiyan transformation.
Right.
But it's something greater, right?
Right.
Not something
outside of the Super Saiyan.
Not something that is dictated by their Saiyan heritage.
Okay. That I'm with.
But considering that Gohan is also half Saiyan, which has a greater potential than a regular Saiyan, the Mystic transformation could indeed, I would say it probably could stand on par with Ultra Instinct, at least like the sign version, not mastered.
Okay,
mastered might be a little difficult, but the sign version, like the initial one where he's glowing and all that stuff, probably.
But at the same time, like Gohan would still be the one who would not take as much time, excuse me, to train or master his form.
Right.
Whereas that's the only thing Goku's gonna do.
Right. And that it comes to a difference in priorities, right? Because Gohan never wanted to fight. He really never wanted to fight at all. Never did.
Nah.
He fought when it was necessary. But it push come to shove, if he has a choice, he won't fight. Because he doesn't need to. We have enough hard hitters to do that. He's the smart person. He's the person who hangs back. He's the strategist, right? He is very much the dedicated family man. He
like
does
by the time you
family.
get Gohan out, Roshi out. So it's like
but you also have to take into account that, like, if you have Gohan out there, either you are pressed for bodies or something terrible has happened and we need Gohan to snap.
Yeah.
Because there are very few characters, there are very few people out here in any verse that are as scary as a bloodlusted Gohan. There's very few characters. Like you up there with a bloodlusted Gohan, you have Ed with a pebble in his shoe. Like there's like
no, I'm with you.
Yeah,
it's not a lot of scenarios.
Yeah, like a Spider-Man who's not cracking jokes, a smiling Batman. Like there are very few characters that I would be scared of like that. Like if I run into Spider-Man and I'm like, you ain't got no jokes, he's like, nah. I'm like, all right, just take me, just take me to jail, bro. Just take me to jail. I don't want these problems.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? That's actually a really good point, and that's a really good analogy right there. And even the Batman, smiling Batman, the Batman who laughs, like, yeah, those are really good analogies, and that should clarify for any Marvel and DC or anybody who's not into anime. That should be your example right there. Yeah,
because like if you saw the shit that Gohan was doing in the Cell Saga after he snapped, that is a red flag. That is a crimson flag. That is not somebody to be fucked with.
Now, doesn't to take it back a little bit, doesn't the story with BoJack take place after the Cell Saga?
I think it takes place before.
I feel like he has the same upgrade that he had from the Cell Saga with the story of BoJack, because initially he doesn't want to get there. And it's not until, because at this point Goku is gone, and King Kai's like, bro, you can't go back. Goku's going Goku, and he goes back anyway, only to like punch BoJack before he can hit Gohan, and has like a quick little like dream conversation with Gohan.
Right.
I feel like that.
Okay. I just looked it up. Yeah, it takes place a couple months after the Cell games.
That was another one of those moments where, like, the way they was during the whole like first half of that final battle.
Yeah.
Gohan just catching it on the chin, left and right.
Yeah.
And like you said, once he snapped, they had my man like the ninja little spider web things where they like have him tied up in the air and he can't move. After he has his little snap moment, he just walking through it like they're not even doing that.
Yep.
Just like as an example of the level of power that he possessed even then.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, Mark. You're right. Yeah, it was after. So I had to double check just to make sure. I thought it was before, but I had to double check to make sure I was not putting any false information out there. But thank you.
I've been trying to keep up myself, and I was like, I feel like that was.
Yeah, it might have been something else that I was thinking about. It was probably like one of the Broly movies or something. I don't know. Right. But yeah, just going off of like Gohan in the Cell Saga, like this is a man who will be like, yeah, I'm gonna rip these wings off the butterfly, like just to take something from DBZ Abridged. I'm not finished ripping the wings off the butterfly. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. Goku, can you help, please? Because like never in my life have I been so scared for the villain than at that moment. Because like once that red line went behind his head, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Cell, you
See,
might want to leave. It's not too late, bro. You can leave. You can go.
I think about the only other time I thought like the villain was really going to catch it, and it was kind of a letdown. But I think the only other time I really felt like the villain was going to get it was the first time I saw Vegeta and Goku fuse, and they was fighting Boo. I thought like that was a wrap. That's it. That's it. It's done. Like the series is over now. And even the arrogance of that character was kind of like,
yep.
You thought that was just gonna.
Well, see, that's the hubris of the Saiyans. Like they are all about their pride, and they will live and die by that pride if you let them.
It sounds like Vulcans.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. It, just the little that I know about Vulcans, yeah. Because you want to Vegeta's the prime example. Because I'll never let him live that shit down from the Cell Saga. He could have ended that shit fucking 30 episodes early, but he sure didn't because he wanted a good fight. He could have ended that motherfucker so quick.
I mean, I just think about the one meme where it was like if Goku was fighting Thanos, he would have given him all the Infinity Stones. I want to fight him at his best.
He would have.
Like, bruh.
He would have.
Bruh. But you know what? At the same time, in fairness, Goku never like set out to be the protector of Earth. That was never what he wanted to do.
He just wanted to fight strong dudes. But now the problem is that he is one of the strongest dudes on the planet, and he keeps hinging the fate of the world on death battles. So you gotta pick the battles a little bit better, my boy.
Nah, that ain't how it works.
I got shit to do tomorrow.
That ain't how it works. That ain't how it works.
I got shit to do tomorrow. Come on, bro.
Apparently, when you were saying it's all about the bragging rights.
That's all about the bragging rights. But Vegeta's learning. Goku's yeah. Yeah. Vegeta, he's learning. Vegeta's learning. Goku's getting there, I guess. At least now he's taking the shit off world.
I was about to say the only thing Goku knows is to not fight here.
Yeah.
Let's fight somewhere where other people can't get hurt because he knows the shit could go left.
So they're getting there. They're getting there. I don't know, man. These pure-blooded Saiyans are giving me a lot of undue stress, and I'm tired of it.
Man. So
like, the half Saiyans are just out here just trying to do shit, like be regular people.
Since I got a long weekend, I'm gonna check and see if there's some I can squeeze in maybe 2 hours to go check out the Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah,
that's Dragon Ball Superhero.
Yes. So the other thing about that is, I wanted to mention it here because this has kind of been a divisive point on the movie. The art style. It's kind of like a pseudo 3D type deal. I can't. There's a name for it. I can't remember.
It's like
the what?
Like how they did like the Dragon Prince, where it's like that weird.
Yeah. Kind of like that. So a lot of people are saying that like it doesn't mesh well with Dragon Ball, and I after seeing that movie, I'm like, I don't know. I actually prefer this over like what we've been getting so far. Like, obviously, we can't get this all the time because that's expensive. I get that, sure, but like this was actually a really good. It was a really good art style for the story they were telling. Outside of like a couple of nitpicky things, but those are very spoiler heavy, so I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, the art style actually worked really well, like the whole movie.
So is it like a watercolors look, a cell shaded kind of look?
It was more cell shaded than it was a watercolor. Like,
Okay.
you seen Guilty Gear Strive, right?
Yeah.
That pretty much that. That's how it was animated. That's what it looks like to me.
Okay.
It doesn't look bad, and you can see it in the trailers too. Like, it's not all hand drawn.
Okay.
That is 3D animated,
So
and it looks good.
Like, is it a comparison almost like and I'm gonna take two that you know, and you'll be proud of me for picking one of them just because I feel like it has a unique visual style.
Mhm.
Is it like comparing, say, Demon Slayer, Mugen Train to Promare?
Yeah, actually, yes, yeah.
Because
but
one
like,
of the big things about Demon Slayer, especially for me, is I do feel like it is a very colorful, and the color plays a big part in the story because of the different sword
breathing
styles and
styles,
things
yeah.
like that, and the visuals give a lot to indicate the way the battle plays out, and with the breathing, with the lightning style, the animal style, the water style, fire style, and stuff like that, versus something like Promare where it's more about the action that's taking place, but it kind of seems like it has almost that old school color pencil art appearance. It doesn't seem like it has that new digital overlay.
Right.
So it sounds like the Dragon Ball movie, Dragon Ball Superhero, kind of has that digital overlay, so it's a glossier look. And as you said, it's definitely much more expensive. Not something we can expect to see as part of the new art style. Something maybe specific for the movie.
But I honestly, if we got episodes, like not even like all the episodes, like maybe like a couple like of the more action heavy like episodes in Dragon Ball Super, I would be more than okay with that.
Like the entertainment art battles.
Like like if they
blow the budget on that.
Blow the budget. Yeah, just like the last 6 episodes of like the Entertainment District arc Demon Slayer. If that was the whole show, give me that.
Yeah.
Again, obviously super expensive because like anime budgets are like 200,000 for like the season. So yeah.
Well, I'm very happy when they chose to spend 150,000 of that.
Yeah. Because
I did need to know when Zenitsu was learning how to play the guitar. It did, I was good on that.
But no, the art style is for some reason like to me because it's super weird to me because I enjoyed it, and that I don't know why people are saying that it didn't look good. It did. It looked great. I don't understand.
I think different and good oftentimes are, it didn't look the same.
It doesn't look the same. That's what it is.
And somehow that.
What's that?
Or it wasn't what I wanted.
It's not what I wanted.
Go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the key takeaway
but
right there.
Me though. No, and honestly, like I say that I don't get it, but I kind of understand because like nostalgia is there, right?
Yeah.
Like the nostalgia glasses are very real, and I understand that people don't really like want the things that they love change too much. I get that, but like this is a good change. This is a really good change. I don't understand the apprehensiveness against it. Like,
I want change unless it's different than what I thought it was.
Did I watch the sub or dub? I watched the dub. That's actually a good very, very good question. The dub is actually really good. It is a really, really good dub. I was actually kind of worried walking into it because I honestly didn't know which one I was going to be walking into. Because when we watched Jujutsu Kaisen, that was sub. And when I know we watched another anime movie. I can't remember which one it was. And that one was sub as well, I think. So we walked into this one and it was like entirely dubbed. And
I think the last big one that comes to mind, and I don't know if I'm sure something's come up since then, but My Hero.
That's what it was. There it is.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. So that one I watched sub. That's it. But yeah, no, the dub for Superhero is really good. I know people have their preferences, but if you have to if you have to choose between a dub and sub version, I can't imagine that the sub version is bad. But if you are having to decide between the two, dub is fine. The dub is fine.
Well, and I think one of the big things, especially with Dragon Ball, more than anything, the voice cast for
they released both in American theater, so that's cool. That is actually really, really cool.
So you just have to make it a point to know which one you're going when you pick your movie. But the voice cast for the English dub has been the same for quite some time.
Yeah.
With, Sean Shamel, Christopher Sabat, you know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of the same people for quite some time. And so we're not hearing some random voices come in, they're not trying to go the route with celebrity voices or anything like that, where it's like, oh, we have these people who are doing the voices. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
It's gonna be familiar. So if you go in and you pick up the dub version, it still sounds like what you think it's gonna sound like. Because it's the same people that have been doing the voices for the English version of this for so long. Like, this is gonna sound like the people from Cartoon Network. That's what you expect it to be. So I think that kind of helps with a little bit of familiarity, and that can make all the difference in, trying to get through. If you do the subtitled version, even then, I would imagine it's the same situation where it's the same voice actors who have been doing it. And so you're getting this. Actually, no. Did somebody? No, I don't think they were from Dragon Ball. I was about to say, didn't a voice actor or actress? I feel like a well-known voice actress just passed.
For Dragon Ball specifically?
I feel like it was Dragon Ball.
The voice actress for Bulma died fairly recently. Yeah.
So I mean, that would be something that
a Japanese voice actress, I believe. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm thinking like there again, we're still talking about like the being familiar with it and being something that you recognize. Would a person, if somebody might go in expecting Bulma, especially given that you pointed out Bulma's referenced many times, you know what I'm saying? But it's like if somebody comes in and they hear a voice and it's not the same person they expect it to be for Bulma's voice, that could be something that throws off. Because I can't even imagine what it would be like to hear Goku or Vegeta talk and it not sound like Sean or Christopher. Like if those two guys who do the voice for Goku and Vegeta aren't doing the voice for Goku and Vegeta, you better get Team 4-Star. Otherwise, I got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's kind of that's become the norm. And so that's going to continue on as such. And it's like, even the guy who's doing the voice for Piccolo, he's the same guy's been doing the voice since like 2012. So it's like, that's the voice you expect it to be.
Oh yeah, for sure. So it's just there are certain voice actors that just have like tenure with certain characters. Like I'm blanking on his name. I was just thinking about his name right now, but Dr. Eggman's voice actor. What's his name?
Eggman from Sonic.
Yeah. Mike Pollock. Yeah, there it is. Mike Pollock. Yeah, like he's been Eggman since fucking Sonic Adventure, and they never changed him ever. Like even when the 4Kids cast everybody got changed except for Mike Pollock, because that is the Eggman. Like it's hard once you have a character who has a dedicated voice actor and they just fit, is really hard to let them go, because then you have to deal with that familiarity all over again. Like you put this new guy, which I campaign a lot for, like getting new blood as far as voice actors go, but there's just I know there would be just a shit storm if we were just like, yeah, Sean Schimmel, you're not voicing Goku anymore.
Yeah,
that would be people would riot.
That would not go over well.
Yeah. Which is sad because, like, again, I would love to get some new blood, like, because I'm tired of seeing Troy Baker in everything ever. But
yeah,
it is what it is, right?
I mean, one of the first people that comes to mind for me is, especially like with like the voice actors, is like Nolan North, David Hayter, the other guy that's not Nolan North but is Nolan North, Cade Six.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those are the people, and those are just and truthfully, like for them, it's just like video games. They are the voice of like every video game character. You know what I'm saying? And like the people, you kind of get used to the same thing, and it does make a difference. And so it's like it becomes kind of like, oh, Steve Bloom,
yeah,
who's the voice of everybody in the English dub. You know what I'm saying? And this is nothing against Steve Bloom. I think he's a fantastic voice actor.
Yeah,
such a distinctive voice.
Yeah, no diss to like any voice actors that are like doing their thing. Like you're doing your thing. You obviously getting work because of what you do, and it's great. All I'm saying is just like I just would like to see what other people can do. That's it. That's all.
It's like casting directors need to stop being lazy.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. Like no diss to anybody. Like I am totally fine with all the Chris Schemmels. Chris, I was thinking Sabat and then like
Chris and Sean, like those two
Chris
guys.
And Sean, yeah. All the Monica Rials out there, like all the Nathan Fillions and all that stuff. Do y'all thing, but like, can we get some new blood?
We definitely need some new blood. Just because, like, as much as I love these two shows, I'm going to point out, Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, Mugen and Spike are the same guy.
Yeah.
Literally and literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was no effort put in to change the way the voice was done.
One is Space Cowboy, one is Samurai Cowboy. Like it's literally it's the same guy. It's the same guy, just one's a little shaggier.
And that same guy is in X-Men with claws. So you got Space Wolverine, you got Feudal Japan Wolverine, and then you got Wolverine.
Yeah.
And that's how it feels.
That's just how it is. But getting back to like Dragon Ball, because we keep kind of deviating from there. I know people got to go to bed and all that stuff. As far as this new wave of like Dragon Ball movies, like everything here that's being put in these movies is canon. So like at any point we can just like drop a new character in like the manga or the anime and it'd just be cool. It'd be fine. Like Broly and Chilai and what's his name? Damn. The other guy that's with them. They're all canon. They can just pop up whenever the hell they want. Android 21 is canon. She can just pop up whenever she wants, Majin form or not. Yeah, all these characters are canon. All these concepts are canon now. Anything can happen at this point. So I say like after like I'm predicting at least with the Black Frieza thing happening right now, we're probably going to see some new things popping up because of the movies and stuff. We might see Broly. Broly might be popping up in a manga. That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. I hope Toriyama doesn't forget like he's been doing, because there's going to be a couple moments in Broly where you're just like, where the character will literally look at the screen and be like, hey, you remember when Toriyama forgot this thing? And then the character does the thing. Yeah, so that again, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But I'm just like, he literally a character just like, oh yeah, I forgot I could do that, and then does the thing. And it's the great. I'm gonna let your imagination run wild on that one. Because when they point when the character looked at the screen and looked at us and said, oh yeah, that's a thing that I can do. I forgot. Let me go ahead and do that thing.
So did they have like a whole fourth wall moment without making it fourth wall?
It was a fourth wall moment. They were talking to a different character, but they were talking to us.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like they was just like, it was literally just like, hey, don't you remember that thing you could do? Oh yeah, that's right. There's a thing I could do. Yeah, cool. I can do that thing.
Well, as long as they take ownership, acknowledge, and now, do what's right.
If he can only remember that Goku has telepathy, if he can only remember, because that is a thing that Goku can do. He can read minds. But somebody forgot. Somebody forgot it. All these, I get it. There's a lot of concepts that he's throwing out in these things where he just kind of forgets things. Like same thing with Araki and JoJo. There's so much shit that Araki forgot in JoJo. Like, yeah, you remember that thing where Dio had like lasers that could shoot out of his eyes?
I do remember that.
And he didn't do that
ever again.
Right,
again.
Like there's a lot. There's a lot that Araki forgot.
Makes sense sometimes if they just like, he has this power, like it's temporary because he did something. Like he did this thing and that gave him this power, but unless he does this thing, the power isn't there. That would be the way to kind of salvage that, because that might not be something he does all the time. But once you add a power to the repertoire, you start getting so many powers that it's just like, oh wait, that's right, he can do that. I can see how you can write that in and make it interesting.
Yeah,
even the character forgets they can do something.
Sounds like Superman.
I mean, I wasn't gonna go there specifically, but that's actually the way they wrote that in, because certain things only became possible based on his exposure to X kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, we can give me a random color. We're going to take a dartboard and throw it at a color, and then a dartboard and throw it at a power. That kryptonite gives him that power. Or that kryptonite takes away that power. However we decide to write it this week.
Right. Man. It's frustrating, but it's also just like empowering to to know that like he remembered things and we don't have to like sit here and fucking yell about it anymore.
There you go. I mean, it's always nice to be remembered, and if he comes back and jumps in there, very cool.
But it's all good. Like I said, the movie's still good. I still, like I said, it's a solid 8 out of 10 for me. If I had the opportunity, I would absolutely go see that movie again, just to see if I can like pick out some things that I missed on the initial watch. Actually, because Linda hasn't seen it, I'm probably going to be seeing it again. So yeah,
we may have to look at the weekend schedule and see what's what, because I think I got this weekend off. I know I got the holiday off.
I don't have weekends off anymore. I work 12-hour shifts on the weekends.
Yeah, I have this weekend off. I have not been having any time off, which sucks, but I do get this. I get 1 weekend a month. It's a cool thing that they decided to do. But
there you go.
1 weekend a month I get to be off. The rest of them, I'm working.
Yeah.
But okay, well that is duly noted, and I will put it on the calendar. Try to get to that, and that is hilarious. I think that's it. I think we covered all topics. We found out why Denisha did not like Lord of the Rings. My feelings are a little less hurt now. She makes all her good points, and of course, people are allowed to like what they like, and they don't have to like everything.
Right.
no matter how much I might like something, if someone else does it, then that's their thing. I'm just always curious what it was about it they didn't like, so I can kind of judge and gauge that to tell somebody else, like, oh, well, if you don't like this, then blah blah blah. But I am curious though, because she said she's gonna stick it out and try to watch number 2, and I'm thinking to myself, if you watch number 2 and 2 is good, are you gonna watch 3? But I don't want to like put it out there as a challenge. I just want to see what happens.
Right.
We got a chance to actually cover Why Did I Watch That? That was pretty cool. I loved being able to do that because I've been like super busy. Denise and I were supposed to sit and we were going to talk about the 2 movies we watched. Scorpion King was one with The Rock, and the other was Secret Window with Johnny Depp. And I was just so disappointed with Secret Window. It had all the premise and it just like failed. I mean, it was a solid 8.5 going into a 9, and then it kicked into a 4. So it like averaged out at like a 5 at best. They so fumbled the bag right there at the end, which is a shame. Dragon Ball Super review. Thank you so much for that, David. I appreciate that. Because it is on my watch list, and surprisingly enough, it's like I appreciate the review. Spoilery, but not spoilery. So it's like if there's some big stuff that happens, I still get to be excited in the theater.
Oh yes, get excited.
But I have a little bit of concept of what I'm going in and what I'm going to see. Jeff, as always, man, thank you for coming in, bringing those opinions, and keeping the conversation flowing. He's busy at work. I got to throw it out there. Got to put you on blast. Are you working on your comic book?
Yes.
I cannot wait. My man is working on a whole comic book. And so I've come to understand that every time you sit on show and you're like that, you are actively drawing. And I know you got a lot of stuff to illustrate.
Yeah.
So
one of these days I will be drawing something that's not like under an NDA, and I can like maybe do just like a live, like do like a second screen. And
you know what? I'm even going to say, like, we may have to partner up with Lawrence Suggs, Lord Spew on Twitch, and see about get you on one of his shows where they do the animators come on and they have to do like a live art challenge or a live drawing challenge of what he'd have to explain the show. I can't explain. It's actually pretty cool, but they get some pretty talented artists come on. They talk about some things, and they basically draw out what's being discussed. So some like live storyboarding kind of thing. And I think you've got a unique art style all your own. I think it would be pretty dope to have you on this. So I'm gonna talk to some people, see what I can work out and make that happen. All right, Dave, you got any other points, man?
Nothing yet. I'm still trying to get my stream schedule back up and running.
And that stream, that is, I know you got some stuff online that is available for people now. That's Heroic Hat pretty much everywhere, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Heroic Hat pretty much everywhere. Check him out. I collab on a few things. I tag him and stuff all the time on TikTok, and he's got a really good TikTok that's moving along pretty good. A lot of fighting game. What is it? FGC talk. FG Talk, a lot of good stuff there. Always brings in good stuff, and a lot of it does cover gaming in general, but specifically the fighting game community. Big help there. Follow Grown A Geeks on TikTok. We're trying to make some moves, and we clip out a lot of stuff, and I tag those people who are part of it. If Jeffrey ever decides to get on TikTok, I'll tag him there. But if he doesn't get on it, it'll be just fine. Catch him on Instagram, as you see there, at JPNT17. Check out the web store to get a cool visual, all the artwork that he has out there. Grab you a Southwest DeKalb t-shirt, some Outcast content. I'm telling you, man, I love that stuff. I'm going to have to get me some more stuff. I need some new shirts. I'm running out of shirts. So I'm gonna start repping schools that I go to just because the show was dope.
I'm about to put up some geek stuff soon.
Actually, I think I might have figured out a way on the last stuff we collabed on. I'm about to just I gotta shut down one whole store on like on the merch page. I'm gonna shut down one whole store because that doesn't exist anymore. So I'm gonna pull all that content. I'm gonna revamp everything else that's there. And I think I figured out a way on one of the shirts we were talking about. And it's great because we were just talking about Dragon Ball Super. So maybe I'll be able to get it out there right around then. Instead of like posting names, since it's just a GIF, since it's just an image, it'll just say, but can he beat? And then we'll go with that. So maybe if I like superimpose the gag logo over it, it won't flag it the same way, and we'll have some really cool stuff. But for everybody who's hung out to this part, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much for being a part of all things Grown A Geeks. This has been Weigh In Wednesdays. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the QR code there in the corner so you can find out everywhere we are. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you can be a part of all of the great things that we talk about and everywhere we talk about it. For Jeffrey, David, Denisha, Jeff, and myself, we are Grown A Geeks. We thank you for being here, and we are out of here. Peace.